to start, you guys. I'm a little drove right now. Like, you know, there's two, three, oh my God, incidents back to back, right? And I believe that they're trying to kill our spirit. You guys, I'm on two platforms right now, right? I'm not gonna stay on TikTok long because we watch videos on, I go StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, X, etc. Right? But I think right now we're at a time where they're trying to break us, like this energy thing is trying to break the people in America. I'm just keeping it a book, regardless to what your race is right now. And I'm just telling you, I'm siding with Carmelo Anthony. I'm siding with. I'm deciding. You know what I mean? I have to think about. I have kids. Everybody has their opinion. The one situation with the woman at Walmart, stuff like that. She should have did this. It's always a woman of melon have to do better than others. We're tired. Like we just want to be left alone. Like just leave us alone. Like I'm in my bubble. Like right, I just took my garage, put a bed, made my studio, still fixing it up, and you guys won't stop. Like, what do you want us to do? What is it that you think that we should do? Because I'm gonna tell you, like, you gotta stop playing with Eric. You know what I mean? Like, don't come playing with me about nothing. I'm telling you, don't play with me about it. I'm so serious. Don't like all this conversation back and forth on the internet. I know that it would never go as far as the internet. I would not, because this is what y'all do. You go around, as long as you have security, you'll go around marching like you're in a marching band. The stuff happened for the 4th of July. That to me, those are agitators that got paid to get out there. Then we seen these melanated people. It was nobody I knew that was in Louisiana that was out there. Everybody laughing like, why they keep trying to portray the role of the word black? You from wherever you from, represent it. You came here for whatever you came here for, to show business. But we as Black Americans want to be left the F alone. And I'm gonna tell you, you do not want a bunch of people that are tired and sick and tired of being sick and tired. I can tell you that. I just don't even know. So when I'm finna.
And guys, we're going to get into this Karmelo Anthony case, but for this video, we're going to talk about Jeff Metcalf, okay? Jeff Metcalf, I guess, have been exposed by a family friend, somebody that he used to know, okay? Y'all know how it go. Your old friends, even if y'all not friends right now, they know exactly who you are. But the funny thing about this is I feel like we know who Jeff Metcalf is, and he clearly racist. I mean, I didn't say it. He said it with all of these racist comments that he's made continually and over again. And listen, this is why I say what I want to say, okay? Because these folks are allowed to say whatever they want to say, and then the regular old white tea folks act like they didn't say it. Y'all know Jeff Metcalf has been on this racist rant for some time now, and not one media outlet has identified or shamed him for being a piece of shit. And we're going to get into it because it looked like a friend of his done came out and told it all. Yeah. We're gonna get into this video because some guy that came out, I don't know who the hell this man is, but bless his heart, okay? Because he done said that Jeff Metcalf, with his white trash ass, he done taught his sons to be Well, let's just get into what he had to say.
Hold up,
Okay.
I'm
And then he
on
gets
I'm
into
on TikTok right
Carmelo.
now,
Y'all
but you
pay
guys,
attention. We gotta
make
go
sure
ahead
you
and let
just
this play a few
listen to
times.
Letitia
Okay, let's
Keisha.
get
I'm binge
into it.
watching this with you
I
guys
see you're still
because
up to your
she's
old
been on
tricks,
her ish when it comes
spouting
down to Carmelo
bigoted
Anthony and this
vitriol on the
new
internet,
situation with this other young
doubling
boy
down, tripling
that
down
was
on
found
your
drowned.
racist
That's
rhetoric.
crazy.
But know this, Carmelo Anthony didn't kill your son. You did. By teaching your sons to be racist bullies and doing what they were doing. That incident never would have happened if you would have been a better father. It wouldn't have been such a bigoted piece of shit. So you will never know peace. All you have is your hatred. And yes, there's a lot of people on the internet that think like you and support you. Oh, hey, Jeff.
Listen, I got to stop that. I had to record that twice. Listen, now I fuck with white people like this, okay? I do. Because if you a
Thank you
white
guys for
person that can
tuning
keep
in.
it real and can talk about real stuff, I mess with you. This man is telling the truth. You know, unfortunately, sir, your son is not here, but blame yourself. You know, blame yourself. You're a piece of shit father. And this man right here who is saying that he is allegedly your childhood friend, you know, my childhood friends know all the bad stuff that I used to do. Okay. So listen, he says that you taught your sons how to be what? Let's hear it again.
I see you're still up to your old tricks.
You're still up to your old tricks, Jeff.
Spouting bigoted vitriol on the internet.
Bigoted vitriol on the internet. You say you a bigot. You a piece of shit.
Doubling down, tripling down on your racist rhetoric.
Racist rhetoric. It seems like this is just who you are, Jeff.
But know this, Carmelo Anthony didn't kill your son.
Carmelo didn't kill your son, okay? Because listen, you know, let's say this Carmelo Anthony situation never happened. Somebody was going to lay hands on their ass, okay? They just didn't run into the right one, okay? Everybody ain't playing these games, okay? They just hadn't ran into the right one. But you see, that's why you got to keep your hands to yourself, because sometimes scary people will do the most damage.
You did. By teaching your sons to be racist bullies and doing...
Y'all heard what that man said. He said, you, Jeff, are or did, still was and is teaching your sons to be racist.
What they were doing, that incident never would have happened if you would have been a better father.
You should have been a better father, okay? They say you was beating on your ex-wife. Now, this is allegedly, but that's what the folks is saying. They say, Jeff, that you're a piece of shit.
Wouldn't have been such a bigoted piece of shit. So
even he said you a piece of shit. So I fuck with people like him.
Oh, you will never know peace. All you have is your hatred. And yes, there's a lot of people on the internet that think like you and support you. Oh, hey, Jeff.
He say you a piece of shit, okay? And I believe him, because do y'all remember this?
It's on the Austin Metcalf Carmelo Anthony trial aftermath. Jeff Metcalf got on TikTok Live and showed you his completely racist side. For him to sit there and say this wasn't about race, and this video I'm about to show you gives you an idea into how these twins were raised and how we ended up here and how they were most likely talking to Carmelo. Look at what Jeff Metcalf had to say about slavery.
Even though they did wrong, you're going to support someone who does something against the law. You're encouraging and saying it's okay because he's a certain color. Oh, you've got more melanin than me. Ooh, so you get more in privileges, more entitlement? Because 400 years ago, someone actually sold you to us, and we took you over here and put you to work. And then we had a civil war to free your ass. And now you want to talk shit? Oh, I've been so oppressed. You couldn't even vote 1960. Look how far you've come. Look at all the free shit we give you. You're not oppressed. You're fucking entitled. You know what DEI stands for? Yeah. Means I don't have to be fucking qualified. I just have to be a certain color or a race or gender. Whose broad ass idea was that? I don't know about you, but when I grew up, there was no participation trophy. There wasn't a safe space created for me because my feelings were hurt. We had to take actual responsibility for our own actions. Wow, what a concept. If you want society to change, if you want a better place for your kids, then get involved in your kids' life, in your community, in your church. But don't sit on your couch and bitch when it doesn't go your way.
And what's crazy is in part of this video, he tries to say black fathers are not involved in their life. It's like 78% of y'all aren't even involved, when that statistic has been debunked. Black fathers are more involved in their children's life than almost any other race. Next, he has a Mark Wayne Mullen moment, claiming to be Native American, and goes on another racist rant. Look at this.
We are Native American. I have my Indian card and so do the boys. So if you want to talk about stolen land, yeah, that starts here. We were here before y'all were. They took all our land and put us on a reservation. They just brought you guys over on a boat.
Let me guess, your Indian name is running around with big racist mouth bowl.
The next question is, are you satisfied with the sentence that Karmelo Anthony received? Do you believe Austin has received justice?
That's a real easy question for me to know. Hell no. What is justice? Justice for me is when Austin walks through that door and can hug me.
Good luck with that, because that ain't never walking through the door, okay? Not only in your dreams.
That's how long he should stay in jail. Until my son comes back through that door.
He should stay in jail when your son comes back through the door. Ha! Wait on it.
Do I think justice was served? No. There's all types of justice. Street justice, legal justice.
Let me guess. Real street justice means strange fruiting someone like you good old boys used to do in the old days, and have picnics and make postcards. I'm sorry for anybody who was triggered by this video, but I thought it was important to debunk Jeff Metcalf saying he's not racist. And now you get an idea.
He's definitely racist. Oh, and we can't forget this.
God doesn't say that. God says there's going to be trials and tribulations. God says there's going to be people out there who will deceive you. People out there, I mean, if we want to go back Old Testament, eye for an eye, Sodom and Gomorrah, turn to stone, man lays with a man, you die. I mean, this is all your personal choices. It's none of my business. I stay in my lane. Just don't come in my lane with your. I respect everyone until they disrespect me. I've been disrespected by so many people, so many times, while I've had to sit here and take it. I'm going to tell you right now, Charleston White, you think you're funny? We'll see who's laughing. Drew Anthony, you're a and a coward, and you raised one. Kayla, you drunk. What'd you do to that boy to make him stab somebody? My God, what kind of mother are you?
An abusive man always starts with profanity, like calling women the B word.
You? Hey, Kevin Hayes, you f***ing liar. Day after it happened, how many lies did you sit and type up on your keyboard, you big keyboard warrior? You're a big tough man. You still live in Baton Rouge? Remember you said you'd come to Frisco, buddy? You're supposed to find me.
Now he a killer, okay?
I told you we could sit down and talk. That's all you do.
Boy, you ain't talked to a real one, okay?
Talk, Mr. Squeaky Clean. He's the only one in your family without a damn record. I guess that's something
They say you got one for messing with kids.
to brag about in your culture.
Racist, your culture. What about yo pedo ass culture?
You people hang your hat on the dumbest
You people, there it goes.
shit I've ever seen. Let me make one up. Y'all can let me make something racist
Here it comes.
up so y'all can go viral. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy I was trying to portray. How about Watermelon Felon? How's that one strike you?
That's crazy for him to call somebody any type of felon when they said he was doing some nasty stuff to kids. I wouldn't even want to talk about jail.
I hope he enjoyed his first night in that cell last night. Because he's
The reason why he said he hoped he enjoyed his first night in that cell, because they tried to send Karmelo to the prison that his brother was at, but it failed miserably. Okay.
going to have many nights to think about what the he did.
Imagine having this much hate. Like, imagine it. Seems very miserable.
I forgave him, so I don't carry the hate and the
Does that sound like forgiveness to y'all?
anger. So I don't get ate up like cancer and kills you from the inside. It's like me drinking poison and hoping it kills you. Doesn't work that way. You've got to let that stuff go or it will kill you. It will
Let it go then.
eat you up inside. So when people ask me, how can you forgive me? If I didn't, I would have learned.
If this is forgiveness, I don't know what hate is. Is this forgiveness?
I ended up killing him and going to prison myself. That's how stupid people, when you get irrational, because you can't make a good decision if you're emotional.
What he can't get over is the idea of a Black man taking his son out that, his friends say he taught to be racist.
And intellect do not mix. If you're emotional, you can't come up with a logical solution.
Imagine an emotional person telling you to not be emotional. But what did his friends say about him?
Go up to your old tricks, spouting bigoted vitriol on the internet, doubling down, tripling down on your racist rhetoric. But know this, Karmelo Anthony didn't kill your son. You did. By teaching your sons to be racist bullies and doing what they were doing. That incident never would have happened if you would have been a better father. It wouldn't have been such a bigoted piece of shit. So you will never know peace. All you have is your hatred. And yes, there's a lot of people on the internet that think like you and support you. Oh, hey.
I don't know what else to say, guys. The ex-friend has spoke. So apparently this is what he has taught his sons. This is not a father who is so upset, because even in being upset, I don't know why you would be spewing racist stuff unless you just racist. Okay, so that ain't it. So for everybody to just, oh, you just lost his son. No, he's just racist. Okay, that's just who he is. And according to this friend, this is what he taught his son. Both of them. The man called him a bigot, racist. And one thing he said is that Karmelo is not responsible for your son. You are.
Yeah. Okay, I'm listening. Go on. Yes, I'm typing it all down. Clear, spilling tea, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Like you should say it clear. I don't lies right here. Spilling tea, no fear. I'm still here. Da 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 da. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Like Keisha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear.
At TikTok, I gotta talk to the people over here. Hey, you guys, this is Erica Chanel, and I be listening to Lakeisha Lakeisha, and y'all gonna
Okay,
binge
I'm
watch
listening.
and
Go
stuff
on.
with me. She's very respectful. Her
Yes, I'm typing it.
commentary is on
Community
fire.
page, because that is where
She's really been doing her research, and she's been having a lot of great guests concerning this case. But let me shut up and let us binge.
I put a lot of information. So
and y'all
if
tap
you're
the
not
screen, please,
familiar
and
with
like
that, I'm going to
please just
show
tap the
you
screen.
how
It's
to
my
get
second
there.
live over here.
Because initially I do share information there where you can kind of know what's going on. So if you were to go to my page, you would go to post, and then you would go right here. So this is where I post things as it relates to this channel. Now, we do have an interview tomorrow. It will be at about 12 noon. If for some reason it changes, I'll typically change it, and then I'll update the community to say, the time has changed. When, interviewing individuals, sometimes, they may be running late and things like that. So if the time changes, I will adjust it. Just make sure you guys are following the actual community tab, so that you can know if that time has been changed. Now, specifically, let me get into what we're going to talk about today. Let me just go back into my notes, guys, because sometimes I forget this stuff. It's a lot. So as we know, Karmelo Anthony is in prison serving a 35-year term, which we hope to have, overturned, because of course we were not all in court, but we were able to get the information as it related to some of the things that happened in court. What it seemed to be a consensus of is that it doesn't seem like Karmelo received the adequate support that he should have received from his paid lawyer. It didn't seem like the lawyer was representing him, if you ask me, and I wasn't even there. This is just by some of the things that I was reading online and some of the things that I received from people who were actually in the court. So in terms of moving this conversation forward, some of the things that I wanted to discuss today is pretty much the ineffective counsel that most of us agree that Karmelo received. And also, I also learned that when you are being represented by an attorney, in order for you to come back and say, hey, I want to appeal, what I've learned is that the attorney has to object to certain things. So in following this case, what I learned is that the attorney didn't really object to much, but he did object to the situation as it related to the Black jurors. So we know that happened. But like I said, in moving this conversation forward, I wanted to speak to an attorney or attorneys as it relates to the law and moving this case forward, and how successful And even what is the likelihood that Karmelo would receive an appeal? Again, I'm not an attorney, and I've said that a million times. So I wanted to speak to some individuals, such as the guest that we have that's going to be joining us relatively shortly, who has an extensive background. And while we wait, I'm just going to go ahead and introduce them. So we have Michael Campbell of Dallas-Fort Worth. He's a criminal defense attorney. He is in the top 100 national trial attorney. And it says 17-1, meaning he has won 17 cases, murder cases, and he wasn't successful in one of those cases. Now, I was wondering what is the national trial? What does that even mean? National trial attorney. I was like, what does that mean? The National Trial Lawyers Top 100 is a prestigious invitation-only organization composed of the premier civil plaintiff and civil defense attorneys in each region or state. Membership is selective and based on strict criteria, including reputation, leadership, and trial results. So I thought that was pretty good. Now, I believe Andrew Wilkerson will be joining. He's also a trial attorney, 17 and 1 murder cases. Now, as it relates to Attorney Wilkerson, I noticed both of them actually attended Texas Southern University. Wilkerson attended Texas Southern University as well as Michael Campbell. However, Attorney Wilkerson, it showed that he also attended Good Marshall School of Law. Okay, so we have Attorney Wilkerson here. I'm going to bring him up, guys, and then we're going to get the show going. And then we have Michael Campbell as well.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, thank you, guys. Give me a moment here while I adjust the screen. I did introduce you guys while you were, preparing to join. Thank you so much for being here. And I told y'all, I think y'all are badass. I ain't never met y'all, but I said, those are the attorneys that you want if you ever get in trouble right there. Yes. So
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, when I saw y'all, I was like, I want them to come on and talk about this case. Because like I said, I saw you guys on YouTube, and then I think I saw you on another channel. And you just seemed so passionate about everything that was happening. So I said, I wanted to invite you on. And then we could just go from there. I'm just going to listen to what y'all have to say, and we just going to soak up this knowledge, and we're just glad that y'all are here.
No doubt. Thanks for having us on. It's a pleasure to be on. We're going live, so we're going to figure it out as we go, but it is a pleasure to be on. For those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Campbell. I'm a 16-year practicing criminal defense lawyer here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in Texas. I have a specialty in criminal law, criminal defense work, in particular murder cases. Currently, me and Andrew have a high success rate in winning murder and capital murder cases in Texas.
How you doing? I'm Andrew Wilkerson. First of all, thank you for sharing your platform with us. We're elated to be here. For those of you that don't know, under my face right there, Attorney Andrew Wilkerson. I've been working, one half of the Not Guilty Boys. I've been working in criminal law about 13 years, trying to get into some civil as well, but trial is what we love to do. 17 and 1 in murder cases, and that's just murder cases. But yeah, we love trying cases. We love talking about trying cases. Hopefully we can bless your game today with something you didn't know yet.
Thank you guys so much for that. And one thing, before you guys came, I had looked up your background, and I had noticed that you both attended, was it Texas Southern University together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I did.
Well, he went first.
Right. But one of the things I forgot to say is that you guys call yourself the Not Guilty Boys. And that's what I was like, I like that. The Not Guilty Boys. What made you guys come up with that name?
It's a verdict that we started this when Drew called me and said, hey, bro, we have an opportunity to come together as, young black men and start a precedent when young black men attorneys out here representing, first of all, young black men, which is the number one demographic that's charged with criminal cases. But he came, he said, let's start this firm. We started trying small cases like DWIs. We started hearing the word not guilty after those trials were over. Then we picked up more cases, more serious cases, aggravated assaults with deadly weapon, heard not guilty on that. Then we started going into the murder and capital murder lane here in Texas. And we just kept hearing the verdict not guilty, that 2-word verdict. We just kept hearing it at the end of these trials and at the end of these cases. And we felt like that may be the appropriate term for this team.
Okay. I like it because I saw that. I was like, the not guilty boys, I can roll with that. So I wanted, again, to bring you guys on because I wanted to get your perspective. And I tell my audience all the time, I'm not a lawyer. Now, I can read this stuff and look it up, but I'm not a lawyer. So when I saw you guys, I was like, yeah, I want them to come on and tell us, because, again, we're not lawyers. We just go by what we see and what we hear and what we think to be correct. But even me not being a lawyer and everything I was reading, I said, I feel like Karmelo didn't get adequate representation. And that's just me. I said, it just don't seem like it to me. Now, I don't want to get into me, but I had shared with my audience. I said, I remember when I was 20 years old and I had gotten into trouble. Nobody told me about self-defense. So I thought that even if I was in a situation that I was attacked, that even if I attack them people back because they was trying to get me, I never knew what self-defense was. You see what I'm saying? So I had shared with them, that is how you're misrepresented when you get the wrong attorney. Like, I didn't even know what self-defense was. I thought because I did what I did, I was wrong, but nobody never told me about self-defense. So ultimately I was like, oh, I did, I'm just gonna plead guilty. So I was sharing with them, you see how that works when you don't have proper representation, because the wrong attorney, and as you guys say on your website, I don't remember the exact wording, but you were pretty much saying, if you get the wrong attorney, you're gonna be in trouble pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, your attorney is supposed to exhibit any and all avenues towards putting that entire situation behind you, regardless of what the disposition is. If I hope you didn't have a self-defense claim back then and didn't use it, but that is pretty much that's a great example of an attorney not being thorough. You have to be thorough. Okay, everything from you never getting in trouble before, all the way to, maybe you got jumped on one time and you said in your mind you weren't gonna let that happen again, or whatever. Your lawyer kind of should have did that, man. I'm glad you didn't say his name.
Right. But what I saw, and that's why I like about y'all, because Attorney Wilkerson, you were so passionate, and you stated, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, you had stated that you had reached out to, it was a lady that was saying that Karmelo had saved her son. I don't remember if it was her son or her daughter, but you had liberty in reaching out because it seemed like you wanted to know, had his attorney reached out to her for her to come in as a character witness? And I believe you stated that she said something about that he hadn't contacted her.
She said, no, I would have been there. I mean, my kind of heart dropped when she said that, because what that means is that there was not even an attempt to get her down there. Like I said, I mean, you're supposed to have her, sitting down in the cafeteria, with a bag of chips and a computer or iPad watching her show until you call her name. I mean, that would have been paramount in proving that he does have a regard for human life, that he does care. He's not some thug that just stabbed you and ran off like you didn't mean anything to him. I mean, let's think about where he ran. He ran and found a coach, that would have corresponded with that. They even could have put him on the stand to explain. They could have put, I mean, that's 3 witnesses for you right there, or 2, right? You got Karmelo, you got the mama, you got either the little boy or maybe one of the officers that came to the scene and responded that day that know about what. You see what I mean? And that just would have shown the jury, or at least given them something to play. And I'm not making any excuses for this jury, mind you, because I don't agree with what they went with. But I will tell you that in punishment, at that point, it's no more about me convincing you if I did this or not. It's about me convincing you to remain that same person that you were when we were picking the jury, when you said, I don't know if I can give somebody life, or I don't know if I can give somebody that many years. We need you to be that person now. We need you to go on the lower end, and understand that this was simply an isolated situation. This wasn't some planned thing. I have a history of saving lives. That should mean something.
Right,
So.
right. Another thing you said, Attorney Wilkerson, you said that I'm not going to use everything you said because I don't recall, but you were mentioning something in terms of the opening statements. And he was like, even like when you were, giving your example, because it's like you were saying, no, you tell them this is what I need you to do.
Right. You were talking about closing, like I said, and I say this for Mike as well. We weren't there, right? So I'm reading, I'm clicking, I'm swiping just like everybody else. Right. And I think I saw something that kind of had part of his closing verbatim, and he just sounded like he was standing on the fence. And you ain't supposed to be standing on nobody's fence. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to be in your backyard yelling to this jury what you believe and which box they should check. You don't present it to them like it's a choice. You present it to them like after seeing all the evidence and seeing how I cross-examined all these witnesses and showed they were alive. You have to, as a responsible juror. It's the law. Like, you are responsible to be a truthful juror and only use the evidence presented in this case. So it ain't a choice. Like, it ain't you get to wake up and decide if you want to do it. No, I'm holding you to that, to what you told me during jury duty. Jury duty. It's your duty. You see what I'm saying? This is your job. I got a job to do today, and so do you. And for me to present it like, well, I'm not going to tell you what the correct verdict is. Right. Oh my God, that's heartbreaking.
Right.
That's heartbreaking.
Right. And that's why I said I like them, because even being a juror, if I'm sitting there and you're not standing like you should be, I'm going to start to wonder, do you think your client is guilty? Because you should say it exactly how you said it. This is what you need to find. You need to find him not guilty. All of the standing on, I was like, I don't know. So based on that, I want you, from your professional experience, obviously you both are attorneys. None of us was in the court. We're just going on what we read and what was reported and what people have stated. Based on what you have learned in terms of this case, what would you consider some examples of, I don't know if ineffective counsel, is that even a word, or did we just make that up too? Is that really the word for it?
Right, ineffective assistance of counsel. And I'm gonna do this a little backwards. I'm gonna talk presently and work our way back. So presently, Karmelo Anthony's appellate team has a motion for new trial filed with the trial court, requesting that they reconsider and open up a new trial for Karmelo based on what I believe, and I haven't seen the motion, but what I'm pretty sure is going to say is ineffective assistance of counsel. Okay, that ineffective assistance of counsel is one avenue, is one roadway towards getting a new trial. It's separate from the appeal. Okay, right. It's a post-conviction relief that also gives Karmelo Anthony a roadway to a new trial. But the way that it works is right now, Judge Roach, the trial judge, still has jurisdiction over that case. He doesn't lose jurisdiction until 75 days after the verdict. I think the verdict was like June something earlier this month. Anyway, he has jurisdiction over that case 75 days after the verdict. So the motion for new trial has to be filed within 30 days. That'll put it at July 9th. Right, the verdict was June 9th because the deadline is July 9th. And what that does is, because the same judge, Judge Roach, will have to make the ruling on the motion for new trial. So essentially there would need to be a motion. He has 3 days, okay, after the motion to recuse is filed, he has 3 days to either voluntarily recuse himself or deny recusing himself and send it to the higher judge for the higher judge to choose the independent judge to have that hearing just to decide whether or not he should be recused or not. So that will be between Karmelo Anthony's appeal lawyers requesting Judge Roach to be recused. And I'm assuming Collin County prosecutor office said that no, Judge Roach did everything right. He should remain as judge on this motion for new trial. So, but the problem with Judge Roach is those statements he made. Never in the case have I seen a judge come out so quickly and say, yeah, I made all the right rulings. I was fair. He got a fair trial, and I felt like he was guilty. It was everybody saying, well, he didn't say anything biased. It's the I felt like he was guilty part. Okay? Because as a judge, your job is only to be the referee of the case. You're not a player in the game. You're just the referee. You call balls and strikes. So as a referee, you're to be impartial. How can we ensure that Karmelo Anthony got a fair trial when you had it predetermined in your mind that he was guilty? How does that predetermination not affect your rulings as the trial judge? And now even more so, going back to this recusal motion, now that you have said that out in the public, why should you remain on this case now that you strongly believe that he's guilty? You're not going to give him a motion for new trial. You're not going to even give it a true consideration, a real consideration. You know, so that's why they're moving forward with the recusal. But yeah, I think I missed your question somewhere there, but I want to address the recusal motion.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did because, again, I always say this, I'm not an attorney because they be like, you should be. I'm glad y'all know I'm not an attorney. But when I saw that, I knew he was doing the appeal, but then I saw the motion for new trial. And I said, well, I thought the appeal was a motion for new trial. So I'm glad you separated the two. They're two different things.
Yes, can I close on that? So the motion for new trial gives the appellate team an extension to file the appeal brief in the appeals court. So the Fifth Court of Criminal Appeals in Dallas, Texas will handle the appeal itself. The motion for new trial will still be handled within Collin County 296 court, whether that's Judge Roach or if he's recused another independent judge deciding whether or not Mike Howard was ineffective.
See, I like that. I like that because it's almost giving him two additional chances. Because is that correct? Am I saying that correctly?
It's two ways. Yeah, it's two ways to, it's multiple ways to skin a cat. So yeah, that's what it is.
I like when I see attorneys because sometimes I meet attorneys and I be want to say, did you really graduate? Because they act like some of them are non-resourceful. And it's like you went to school for all of that and it ain't nothing in there that you can pull out. I like that. Because they're like, listen, we're going to keep our appeal out there, but we're still going to address this. I love that because I'm not a lawyer. I didn't know that. When I saw it, I said, okay, isn't that? So I'm glad you answered that. Great. Like it. I like it. I like it. But with that stated, though, that simply means that if he gets this new trial, what they're doing is they want Judge Roach to go away and get a new judge to give him a new trial, but it will still be in Collin County.
Right, but understand this, okay? The first step after you file your recusal, because me and Mike have filed several recusals where we felt that the judge just simply wasn't going to be fair to our client because he wasn't fair to us, okay? Right. But the first thing is for that judge to recuse himself. You got to understand how the law set up. It's just wild. Like, you got to be a certain type of person to not only acknowledge your mistake, but also to acknowledge the optics of your mistake and then go further and take yourself off the case. So I'm saying all that to say, I don't think he's going to do it. That's what I'm saying. Now, the next thing will be for them to have a hearing, okay? For them to try to prove it up that he should be recused. If he recuses himself, it's over with. But, I wanted to backdoor Mike and basically say, it seems messed up that he said that on the news, but Mike, like I know, you can't file a recusal based on rulings.
Right.
So he really gave him something to play with. You see what I'm saying? Right. If he wouldn't have said that, I don't know how they would have been able to file the recusal. Because I can't not like your rulings as a judge and say you're being unfair. That's not the way it works. The way it works is that, for instance, Mike went up to a judge one time over our murder case and started talking to him at the bench. And he put his hands in his ears. You see what I'm saying? Am I
What?
lying, Mike? We got that judge off the case.
He put his hands.
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
we got that judge off the case. We got a hung jury, 11 not guilty, 1 guilty. And then our client got offered 3 years deferred probation. He's done, everything dismissed. But anyway, you know, I don't really know where you go with that, you know, other than, you know, thank you for going on the news and saying that, because now I have ammunition to file this recusal. But Mike, I don't know what it would have been based on if he had never said that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why you gotta let a fool just talk. You just gotta let them talk, and they'll talk their way right into a recusal filing. You see what I'm saying? And I do believe, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, if he's recused off of the motion for new trial and his appeal is good and there's another trial, he off that trial too, right?
Right. He's no longer touching the case again. Right. So if he gets recused, Judge Roach won't be on the case again. It'll be an independent judge that is assigned to the case until the case is finalized again.
And before that happens, think about this. How could you possibly allow this man to sit for the motion for new trial when he's got on national news and said, I think this man's guilty?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. So with that, Keisha, what I want to let you know also is deeply into the ineffective assistance of counsel. What Mike Howard did, what Mike Howard didn't do. And this isn't based on my personal opinion. This is based on numerous conversations with experienced trial lawyers in Texas. This is based on, there's a Zoom call with all the Texas Criminal Defense Lawyers Association. We get on a Zoom call every Wednesday. And it didn't matter the color of the attorney, whether it was a white attorney, black attorney, Hispanic, orange, blue, pink. They all thought, that Mike Howard's representation of Karmelo was not up to par. It was not up to the standard of what a defense attorney can do. Let me tell you this, Keisha. Baby lawyers fresh out of law school, baby lawyers, they know to give mitigating evidence. They know to bring character evidence. They know to show that he's a good person, to prove that he ain't never been in trouble before, to call his pastor or his teacher or his counselor to say good things about it. The baby lawyers know that. So it is a fair question to ask Mike Howard, why did you not put up mitigating punishment evidence, which as an attorney, a trial lawyer, when you sign up, you sign your name on that case, you signing your name on for the guilt and innocent phase. And if you're smart, you're going to be prepared for the punishment phase. Because there's no guarantee that you're going to get a not guilty. Thank God we ain't been to punishment too often. But we also have been prepared when we got to punishment and still got favorable outcomes for our clients. Because even though we went to punishment, our clients still walked on probation. Our clients still got lesser and lighter sentences. And that's with all white juries. That's because we was prepared for the mitigating part, the punishment phase. That is a woefully disservice what Mike Howard did to Karmelo Anthony by not being prepared for the punishment phase in this case. That's one of the things he did. Not calling Karmelo to the stand. And I'll let Drew elaborate on this, but not calling Karmelo Anthony to the stand. I've gone back and forth with people, Facebook lawyers, you know, they want to go back and forth. Make no doubt about it. This case comes down to what Karmelo Anthony was thinking at the time he acted. That is the law that applies, not force for force. You don't have to match force for force in Texas. If I reasonably believe that I'm in threat of imminent fear of serious bodily injury or death, I can defend myself. And guess what? I don't have to wait. I don't have to wait till you attack me to defend myself. I'll be dead.
Right.
Yeah, I can throw the first punch and still claim self-defense.
Right. And the law says that. Yes.
It's what's in my mind. And if I reasonably fear, and then some people say, well, I wouldn't have did that if I was him. Well, first of all, you're not similarly situated to Karmelo. He's a 17-year-old kid, first of all. He just start there. He hasn't fully developed his mental capacity to think in high pressure situations like that. That's first of all. Second of all, do you have epilepsy?
Right.
Because Karmelo Anthony had epilepsy. And that came up in the opening statements by Mike Howard, but he didn't go into that in his he didn't call a medical expert, he didn't call Karmelo's doctor to talk about the effects of epilepsy. If someone is to fight you or jump you or beat you, how that could affect you. Maybe that's playing in Karmelo's head at the time he's acted. Also, the fact that these twins are known bullies. And we don't know what Karmelo, Frisco's not a big community.
Right.
Okay, and these kids all on TikTok, on Instagram. You don't know what Karmelo knew about these. I'm gonna say the word because their mama said it last night about these bullies.
Right.
They all mama call them a bully, so I'm gonna call them a bully. You don't know what Karmelo knew about these. Oh, there go the Metcalf twins. Oh, I need to defend myself because they known for being crazy. They'll threaten some cheerleaders. So not calling Karmelo to testify to what was playing through his mind at the time he acted on a self-defense case is, I think, ineffective. What you think, Drew?
I think ineffective is a nice way to put it. I mean, like I said before, anytime we go to trial on a murder case, we try to get a not guilty on the murder and a not guilty on the less included manslaughter, or we're trying to get a not guilty on the murder and a not guilty on the manslaughter. I say that to say both of those deal with your mens rea in your state of mind. Either you were so scared that you did it or you were so angry that you did it. But either way, I need you to tell me what you were thinking when you did it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like they backed themselves into a corner. It was almost self-inflicted by not allowing him to testify. I mean, I hear this and that about maybe there was some text messages that he sent that could have, detrimentally affected him. Man, that's why I think that we are successful on the level that we are. And I'm saying that humbly, because you got to overcome that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You just got to overcome it. Let the prosecutor tell their side and overcome it. Don't not tell your story. Let them go crazy on you. And now when you get a one-word verdict, we kind of trying to pick the pieces up. And I'm not aiming it at the client. I'm aiming it at the attorney. You see what I'm saying? So it's like for him not to take the stand, man, in either case, like even if, okay, you didn't put him on the stand for guilt and innocence because of the text messages, but you did put him on the stand during punishment to get him less time. Even that would be understandable. But to not let the jury hear from him, think about it. How you know what I'm thinking right now? I mean, seriously, it's that simple. I would have to tell you. And guess what? If I was in a position where I would let you decide what I'm thinking right now, you probably need to be somebody that got my best interest in mind, or somebody that don't look at me, my black passion is anger, or somebody that, you see what I'm saying? These are white folks you leaving to decide who this young man is.
Right.
And like I said, you can't leave a jury like that to humanize your client for you.
Right.
You just can't you expecting too much of these folks. Like, part of that is on you. I mean, they are who they are and what they are, but knowing that, you should have had a plan. And you ought to be, I would have been, shoving that down their throat. He saved a life. He had a 3.5 GPA. His kindergarten teacher said he was an astute individual that she knew was going to be successful. His senior teacher said the same. The pastor said, the principal said he had never even seen Karmelo, didn't even know his name before this. I thought about it, and I probably would have, me and Mike, tactically, probably would have had about 10 to 12 punishment witnesses. You want to know why? Because juries forget.
Yes.
All that BS. Mike, how many times we done pulled that? See, I'm going to give them a little bit of sauce. Don't get mad at me, Mike. Because if the DA's listening, they going to know what's up. This how detailed it is. You want to make sure they hear you last.
Right.
If we about to go to lunch and I'm finna cross-examine a witness, I'm going to stand up, Your Honor. I believe my cross is going to go past 12:15. Can I just start after lunch? These things are important. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, tactically, the longer that punishment phase would have been, the more of the good evidence they would have forgot. They would have forgot some of them 21 people's, testimonies. I would have drug it out. They'd have been sick of seeing me.
Attorney,
Guess what? I'm here today to tell you what good of a guy Karmelo is again. You see what I'm saying?
because I researched this as well, and I didn't know that if a person is charged with murder, although they were convicted, there is an opportunity to get that defendant on the stand to get him. Is it like a manslaughter? Am I correct?
Yes.
Well, it's not necessarily a manslaughter charge. It's the manslaughter punishment.
Punishment.
In order to get the manslaughter charge, you would have to get the jury to not convict on the murder and then convict on the manslaughter. And then when you go to punishment, it would only be manslaughter time. What is it, 2 to 20?
2 to 20.
2 to 20. So no less than 2, no more than 20. So manslaughter is heat of passion. You want to prove heat of passion during the trial. But the second bite at the apple you're referring to is sudden passion.
Okay, yeah.
So you would just be showing during punishment that this happened because I was so angry that he was bullying me or playing me like a, you know what I'm saying? Or, whatever may have you. Whatever emotion he was feeling suddenly that caused him to do that. And if the jury believed that, is that right, Mike? If the jury believes that there was evidence presented of it, that there's, I don't know if it's a prima facie case or if it's preponderance of evidence, then they can give him anywhere between 2 and 20.
Right.
Now, it's the second bite at the apple.
His defense had the opportunity, even though he did not testify, he could have put him on the stand then, and they could have still heard from him.
Yes, that's what a trial skilled tried attorney would know and would do. There's been cases where, even though only one case, I got found guilty of murder. Okay. Murder is 5 to 99. So at the punishment phase, I tell my client, okay, now it's time we got found guilty of murder, but now we can still get a manslaughter at the punishment phase by proving, like Drew said, sudden passion. If they believe that things just got out of hand and you didn't have a reasonable time to cool off and you committed this crime, they can find you guilty of the lesser included manslaughter and do 2 to 20. That is a big difference. 5 to 99, 2 to 20. Had Karmelo Anthony's attorney pushed that harder, then maybe he wouldn't have got a 35-year sentence. In our murder case where our guy got found guilty to one case, that guy got 15 years because we pushed so hard, push to say, look, if y'all don't think it was self-defense, then guess what? He just didn't have time to calm down. It all happened so fast. Sudden passion was a case where the guy was beating on my client's sister and he had to do what he had to do. So they found him guilty, but he only got 15 years. Now, people said that may be a win, 15 years, if he was looking at 99. We didn't like it because we felt like he should have came home. But hey, nevertheless, had you pushed that issue, Mr. Howard, for your client, Mr. Anthony, he probably could have got way lesser than 35 years.
Again, I'm not an attorney, but one of the things, because I watch these court cases all the time, is when the witnesses were put on the stand, the prosecution kept asking them, was it self-defense? And I'm like, they can't ask them that. You know what I mean? Because these are regular people. Now, if you ask how many witnesses was it? 20? I don't recall. So I feel like even in that situation, we all are not perfect. How many times did Mike sit there and allow him to continually ask that question and never said anything?
Well, I heard that question, but the correct question is, did he object when it happened? And did he preserve error for appeal? Because quite frankly, the prosecution asked crazy stuff all the dang time. But what you got to do, he was supposed to object, that question causes for the witness to make a legal conclusion. And what that means is, what you were saying in layman's terms is, this person isn't a lawyer. Right. This person doesn't know. This person would need to know the legal definition, the black letter of the law definition to self-defense to even answer that question. See what I'm saying? What people saying self-defense is in a barbershop and the beauty salons, that don't suffice. You see what I'm saying? They need to know what's going on. So, and you could also object to them making an opinion on an ultimate issue. Now, me knowing what I know, they may be able to get away with a witness making an opinion on an ultimate issue. But I would still make the objection just to throw the prosecutor off, okay?
Right.
But you object to that every time. And then if the judge act like he's getting tired of you, you object to it again. And
Right.
then you ask for a running objection to that line of questioning.
Right.
Okay. And not because you poking at the judge, but because you are blatantly putting in the jury's face, they not supposed to be asking them this. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes what I do, I'll say, Judge, this is misleading. They're not supposed to be asking, because the jury needs to know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The jury just needs to know. You got to find a way to the tricks and the trades of this thing to get these people to see it your way, or the way that they ought to see it, not your way. You know, but yeah, that's if that really happened, you know. Now what I do, I can relate to this because in a murder case, I think, Mike, we asked every witness, the last question we asked them is, you're not here to testify to what my client was thinking that day, are you? You're just here to show the jury these pictures that you took of the crime scene, isn't that right? Oh, no, I'm not here to do that at all. No further questions. You can go X them off the list, jury. That witness didn't help you at all. You see what I'm saying? So I can sympathize with what they're doing, but it's still improper. And it would definitely be an appealable issue. I would think, but not if they didn't object. If they didn't object, you waive your appeal. So.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because that was one of the things that I learned by listening to all these other attorneys. One of the things they consistently stated, that if your attorney does not object, you cannot appeal that particular issue. I know I'm saying it wrong, but essentially, if your attorney don't object to whatever they consider is incorrect, then you can't to the appeal court and say, I want to appeal on these specific things.
Right.
You said it right. Yeah.
The Sixth Amendment gives you the right to adequate and complete and a full defense and the right to counsel. And that counsel being adequate and providing effective assistance is knowing when to make the timely objections. I tell a jury, when we pick a jury all the time, don't worry about objections. That's what we have to do as attorneys. As a competent attorney, I have to object. Whether the judge is ruling against me 100-0 or ruling in my favor 100-0. Y'all don't worry about that. That's our duty as a lawyer doing our job, is to object, and it's the duty of the judge to make his ruling. But if we do not object, if we do not stand up and object, and you get judges that try to, and see, that's why you got to have a strong attorney, because you get judges that try to little boy you. They try to take you sit down and shut up. And although that is so improper, especially when it's a white judge speaking to a black defense lawyer, but we'll get past that. But that is so improper to tell them to sit down when I have a duty to stand up and object for my client. But if you got a timid lawyer, you know, who is more worried about his friendship with the judge after this, he's not going to push that envelope like a mean.
Right.
Because when we go in court, we're not worried about our friendships and our relationships with the DA. We're only worried about our client. And there's been plenty of times where we jeopardize our own freedom for the full defense of our client. Okay.
Right.
So you got judges that will try to discourage you from objecting, but you still have to stand up and object. And you know what?
Right.
Even if he continuously to overrule your objection, just make a running objection. The Court of Appeals will still acknowledge a running objection. But again, tried and experienced lawyers know this. So if I don't know if Mike made that objection or not. I talked to Mike Howard. He responded to the email. He said he made the objections. I pray that he did, because then Karmelo may have some action at appeal.
Right. I love what you said, because I started watching the Young Thug. Obviously, this is not related to the Young Thug case, but I watched it late, and I was like, look, I ain't never met Brian Steele, but I feel like he can come to the barbecue any day. When I saw Brian Steele said, if you're going to put me in jail, put me in there with my client, because we still got a case. I said, listen, Brian Steele, listen. So
hey, Brian Steele went in there and did push-ups until the judge let him out. Come on now. What's more G than that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bad boy.
But before Brian Steele, I knew of an attorney named Andrew Wilkerson that got put in jail in the middle of a trial here in Dallas for contempt. Long story short, our client was accused of fighting a transgender, and they was trying to make it seem like it was a man versus a woman. So even though his medical record still had him as a man, his legal name was a man, they insisted on calling him she and calling him by his name. And we insisted on calling him he and calling him by his legal name. And that just got real highly contentious to the point where judge tried to tell Drew not to do it. He put Drew in jail in the middle of the trial. Bro spent about 9 hours in jail, right? Got out the next day. I went and met him right outside Frank Crowley. Got my boy Ty right, put his suit on, make sure he was mentally right. And when I say he went in there and kicked their ass the next day, and we got a not guilty, in the middle of trial, he went to jail. And we got a not guilty on that case. So look, do what you got to do, but we're going to do what we need to do for our clients. We're going to do what we need to do for our clients.
I mean, I don't like that you went to jail, but I love that you stood on business, because these scary attorneys, I don't like that. Don't be an attorney if you're scared. The judge is nothing more than an attorney that is elected. Are you okay? You respect them, but they have to respect you. And I feel like when you go in there and you stand on business, although they may make it seem like, okay, we ain't friendly with them, they're going to respect you more because they're going to understand that they can't play with you.
Right. Exactly.
Indeed.
Exactly. That's the point.
Yes, ma'am.
So much. I don't know if you got, something else you want to say, but you guys, I thank you for coming on. Maybe we can have you back again. I put you guys in my community to make sure you guys are following them. They have the Not Guilty Boys Instagram, but then they have their separate Instagrams, which I put in our community. And also they are here on YouTube. So make sure you guys are following them at the Not Guilty Boys.
Yeah, y'all check out our podcast. Check out our podcast on YouTube, on all the platforms, the Not Guilty Boys. We cover a lot of legal topics, what to do when the police pull you over, what to say, what not to say. We try to educate the community, what to do when you get summons to jury duty. So we got a lot of good topics, educational, informational topics for the community. So y'all tune in to the Not Guilty Boys, subscribe on YouTube, and we plan to bring more information to the people. But Keisha, thanks for having us on. It was a blessing, and we really appreciate you.
All right, thank you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah, you too. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed. I just didn't want to, keep them on for too much.
Yo, what do y'all think? Y'all come in the chat, you guys. Thank you for watching this with me, binge watching this Karmelo Anthony. We will be getting on the other young man, tragic death. They have retained one of the best lawyers in the world right now, so let's get it.
Longer. I feel like they gave us what we were looking for. What are y'all saying in the chat? That's just reading y'all messages here that y'all got in here. What are you guys saying in the chat? Okay, make sure again you guys are following them.
Make sure you guys follow me, please, on all platforms, ERIKATRENELL, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and also Kick.
Let me go. I can go quickly here to YouTube and take y'all to their YouTube channel. I know I did share it in my community, but let me just share it again with you all so y'all can kind of see where they are. Go ahead and make sure you are, following them on their YouTube. They have their own YouTube channel called the Not Guilty Boys right here. Go ahead, make sure you guys are following them. Attorney Andrew Wilkerson and attorney Mike Campbell. Go ahead, y'all make sure y'all follow them over there on their podcast. And also, again, check out, my community page on YouTube. I did link their individual Instagram. Again, they are the Not Guilty Boys on Instagram. Go ahead and follow them, guys. So I'm just going to read some of what you guys are saying in the chat really quickly here, what y'all saying. Somebody said, listen, now y'all keep on saying I need to go to law school, and I keep telling y'all I don't got the money, okay? To be honest, I actually wanted to go to law school. I got my master's. Y'all, do y'all know how much law school costs? I would need a, what is that thing called? A scholarship. I am debt-free as it relates to student loans. And listen, I am 51. I think y'all probably don't think I am. I don't want no debt like that. Tell y'all, I don't want it. What are y'all saying in here? Yeah, but you know what? I probably would, but I don't know if I can do it with the, I don't want no more debt. I'm done with the student loan stuff. All my stuff was paid for. I told y'all I did special education. I was a principal, worked at a school, so I don't have no debt. But if y'all know somebody that's giving away scholarships, I would love to go to law school. But other than that, I can't do it. I don't want to pay that. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. But guess who is going to law school, though? My daughter. I'm going to vicariously live through her, I guess. Because, baby, I'm not going to be able to do it. But you know what, though? I love law. I really do. I love learning the different things, and I love it. It is very entertaining to me. But, yeah, I could not go to law school. I did not have the money. We say super chat the questions is because the comment section is full of comments. We can't read them all. So if people really want us to read them, they super chat it. You super chat your question. It shows up green to us and we automatically can see it. Other than that, feel free to just put them in the comments as you have. And I may or may not read it because, again, there's a lot of them in there. So somebody joined. I think you need to rejoin. Let me see. This is going to work. This person's going to have to rejoin. Somebody just joined by the name of Nikki. Nikki, you're going to have to rejoin because it's showing that your device is not connected. No, I have never, ever lived in Texas. I was not an educator in Texas. No, I have never lived in Texas. Somebody said, was I an educator in Texas? Okay, guys, so we got Brittany. Hey, Brittany.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How's it going? Now, you better not be driving. I hope you parked.
I'm parked.
Okay. Okay.
I'm parked.
What?
I just got out of the gym. So no, my son was actually bullied and he had they said racial slurs and all of them for approximately 8 years. My issue with this is I shouldn't have known about preponderance and substantiated from the district. My problem is I've had this ever since 2025. I reside in the area very close to it. But back in 2025, I said, I'm going to let all the facts come out. The facts never came out in the case, right? It was witnesses changed their testimonies. I never know in Texas, especially for them ever to hear something about a black man. If they had something that Karmelo actually did, in my perspective, they would have released it.
Brittany.
He wasn't in imminent danger of his life. He told the officer he was fine.
What's the definition of murder? Tell me what the definition of murder is.
The definition of murder?
Mm-hmm.
Taking somebody's life away from them unwillingly?
No, that's actually not the definition of murder. Murder is more so a premeditated thing. So you're saying that when he got there on that day, he already knew that he was going to take this boy's life. That's what murder is.
But that's capital murder. If you're doing the definition by the law, that's capital murder. It was premeditated.
Okay. All right. Well,
so you have different types of murders. You have first degree, you have second degree. So there's different classifications of murder. But so that's why he was found on murder. He wasn't found on manslaughter. But
all right.
it's unfortunate. I just give him my 2 cents. But I like what you're doing, and I just want to put that out there.
Well, thank you. You have a great rest of your day.
Too.
All right, Brittany, we're going to bring you back up. I see you here. Hi, Brittany.
Okay, can you hear me now or no?
I can. Yes, we can hear you now.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Brittany.
You said you can hear me. Well, I can't hear you, but if you can hear me, then that's fine. It might
Yeah.
just be me. I have T-Mobile, so it is possible.
I can hear you.
My stance on it is that my son was a subject of someone who was outright bullied for 8 years. In the district, they let children, and I'm a mixed woman, I'm white and black. They allowed children to call African-American boys monkey, racial slurs. They allowed them to put their hands on children. And that's my issue. They have this thing called Stop It app. And on the Stop It app, you're allowed to report bullying. My son did that. And he ended up going to alternative school. He pushed a kid after on the video, it showed that he had somebody put their hands on him and he pushed them. They happened to hit a wall. The reason why this case is so personal to me is because of the fact that I think about the Lord and his grace and his covering over my son and how he could have easily been Karmelo. Because I've had my stance since 2025 was I'm going to wait until all the facts come out. I'm not going to side with the race just because I'm, a black woman. I'm not going to side just because I've had these dealings with Frisco. I am going to wait to hear the facts. And from the court, I haven't heard anything about the facts except inconsistency, right? When he said that I alleged, that I'm not alleged I did it. He did say that he did it, but nothing was proven of what he said he did. He never made a full admission of it. And on the camera, let me just say this. That school that they have cameras all the time on both angles. Both angles they have it. If they had a black man in the state of Texas in 4K, they would have been released that video. They would not have edited it. They wouldn't have perjured witnesses. Like, that's my problem with the situation is this is beyond color. This is to dehumanize a boy. Even like yesterday, Megan, I listened to some individuals and Megan said, yeah, when the case was going on, I looked up Karmelo and he wasn't anything. He wasn't even going to college. Like, it's like, how dare you as a mother, regardless of what you say happened, as though your son, your child who's white is so much better than the black boy. Because that's what race does come into the factor. They always want to label. Austin has a picture of his whole face, a picture book face or a yearbook face, but y'all got a mugshot of Karmelo. That boy was an A student. Y'all didn't hear nothing on him. At the state of Texas and Frisco ISD, if they had something on Karmelo, they would have had a file. And let me tell you this, my son got a whole repertoire on his resume, everything he did. And this is really passionate to me because I hate injustice. My mother is in jail for 200 years for something that she didn't do. So I don't like injustice. Whether you white, whether you black, you are supposed to have due process. They did not give that boy due process. And when I mean vengeance is the Lord's, because all them lies, Jeff came on live and showed his true colors. Sir, God don't say you got to physically murder somebody. He says murder starts in your heart. So the way that you have been has been a disgrace to being a believer in Jesus Christ. That is not how people of God condone a situation. And he doesn't need to act like he was going there trying to start peace. You had shades on with your shoulder broke, sir. You weren't trying to create peace. You were trying to create chaos. So I'm praying that justice be served. And God is the ultimate judge, not Judge Roach. He the DA. He sat at the right hand of the Father interceding for that young man. So I'm sorry. I know I got passionate, but this is not okay. This is not okay. And if this was somebody else's child, whether it was their son or their daughter, some of these people wouldn't have the views that they have. He was in imminent danger to him. And if he wasn't, Judge Roach, why did you prevent a psychiatrist or a psychologist coming in and presenting on his behalf? If you knew he did it and you had him in 4K, what did it matter? Because you didn't. And you put all of those juries against them and you made preemptive strikes against them when they were educators. What better people than to make decisions? Oh, but according to Jeff, Black people can't make decisions. We're not qualified to make decisions. That's okay, because I know Jesus is qualified. And I'm praying against every demon that's going on right now. But that's all I have to say. I can't hear you.
All right. Thank you so much, Brittany. Brittany couldn't hear us, but I loved and liked everything she said. Thank you so much. So I am going to bring our next guest up. Hello, Nikki.
Hi, Nikisha. I'm actually one of your mods. How are you?
Nikki. Okay.
If my picture changed. Keisha, I really want to say first and foremost, like, I'm gonna try not to get emotional. Thank you so much for reporting on this Karmelo case. And like Brittany was just up here, this hit me real hard too as well. I was 17 when I had my first child. I have a 20-month-old son, and my son is actually 17, my oldest. And he's actually a good kid, like the opposite of me. So you always crack me up when you be like, I was something else growing up, because I'm 35 now. So my son, when I tell you, Keisha, he's the opposite of me. When I seen Karmelo, I literally seen my son. My son has never been in a fight. He's a good kid. He actually goes to a school where it's like primarily like white, because I'm here in California, and he goes to a really good school in Torrance, California. But back to this case, Keisha, this is some crazy stuff. I have never in my life seen nothing like this. Like what they did to him.
Right.
It's crazy. It's sickening and it's disgusting and it's disgrace. And that judge, I'm sorry, Keisha, just please let me just. Keisha, when that judge got on that TV, you seen it all in his face. He know what he did. He know that. And you know what? My boyfriend was saying too. I was like, they all seen the real tape and they know he didn't do it. And they still put him in jail. And them jurors, I'm like, who are these people?
Right.
What happened here? Because I'm really like, it's like words can't even explain how I feel. I'm so sad. And like, since this happened, my heart has really been aching for this kid. Cause I'm thinking like, my son is in his bed. We all in our good beds. Karmelo was supposed to be sleeping in his bed with his family, getting ready to play football. This was a straight A school student. And what broke my heart was when they said that he was taking online classes doing all this. I said, oh my God.
Right.
I said, he still had a good spirit of God in him. What do we do?
Well, I feel like, unfortunately, this happened to Karmelo, but I honestly believe it starts with the goofy that we have in the White House. I believe this man has been so corrupt and have stated, look at what he's doing now, saying only white people can come into the country. He's a racist president. So I feel like he is really set the precedent for these racist folks to do what it is they do. Now, I feel so much better. I hate that Karmelo is going through this, but I can see right now at the end of the tunnel. Unfortunately, he is in prison, but he's going to come out, and they're going to know not to F with us ever again. Because just like we stood 13 toes down with Karmelo, we ain't even got 13 toes. We're willing to do it again and again. And this is what we have to show these folks. They thought what was going to happen is they was just going to throw this, because I keep referring to him as a kid because he is. You thought he was throw him in prison and we were going to be okay with it. Absolutely not. He got a team of lawyers that stepped in. They ain't even charging. You see what I'm saying? Because when we tried to do these different funds to raise money,
it just wasn't working out. It was not working out. And you know what? Also, Keisha, sorry not to cut you up. I was thinking too, they didn't, you got to think, Keisha, we living in a different times now. So I mean, I'm not being funny, so I don't nobody take this the wrong way. But you know, at this point, you ain't even got to go to law school. We didn't all figured it out. We just need that clear tape. We know what really happened. And then also,
I'm sorry. She's absolutely right, you guys. I was talking and I was on mute. My thing is, you can go pro se. Learn the law, you guys. Go on, when you are in trouble, do not let your attorney dictate your future, your outcome. Learn everything, every aspect of anything that you're going to court about. If you're reading cases, other cases concerning look like you, okay? I just built the school, online school. Your children will be able to go to it. They will learn English, math, science, social studies, French, Spanish. So when people talk around them, they'll know exactly what they're saying to them. We have to get our kids and start educating them. And it don't matter who you are. It's just we have to start educating our kids, because this country no more is Americans. It's something else. And I don't know what it is. Okay. And yes, we're at a time right now that I don't know right now what they need to do, but I know what I need to do. And it's on them to want to do it. You know what I mean? And when I mean they want to do it, that means they have to get their heads on their shoulders and stop begging for stuff. But let's get back to Miss Lakeisha.
I think by the time this is all said and done, and mark my words, Keisha, it's going to be either a Karmelo law or a Karmelo act. Because when we get done with these people, we're going to tear them up. And I think them lawyers, you got to think about it. It's about 6 of them. Everybody got a job. So everybody, I know they're looking for cuts and they looking for things that was done wrong. And I know they're looking for just they going to find something. And I've been hearing a lot of things, that corruption. I'm just like, my next question is, why would they take the chance on doing all this and then all the corruption come out?
So the thing about it, when you think about white supremacy, these people feel like they've been doing this forever. So to me, this is the most blatant that I've ever saw people just do what the hell they want to do. But what I'm loving about this new team that Karmelo has, they ain't effing around, okay? Because I didn't even know that he can get a new trial. So what they're doing is they're exhausting everything. And I like hard ass attorneys. So basically what I've learned from, the attorneys that we just had on the show is that them asking for a new trial is separate from the appeal. So basically they're still reserving their right to appeal. They're buying themselves more time, but yet still asking for another trial. So basically
I love that.
So let's give you an example. Let's say Karmelo gets a new trial and he's found not guilty. Guess what?
That's it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I love it. So unfortunately, it's a bad situation now. I hate that he's there, but I do feel like that this is going to be turned around, and I really hope these people go to prison. That's
me too. And God is the redeemer. He gonna make sure, like Brittany just said, God see everything. He know what really happened. We know what really happened, and when, it's gonna be real nasty when it all come out. And Keisha, I know you're busy. I know other people want to come out, and that was me who messaged you on Instagram. When I was
I have your Instagram. I have yours marked.
Okay.
But the thing with the Instagram is I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Keep in mind, guys, I'm on Instagram, but I wasn't getting a lot of Instagram messages. They flooding me with the Instagram messages to the point that I am saving them in I think you have the general folder and then another folder. I think I was mixing them up till it was just making me so where are my messages? So I'm kind of catching up with it, but a lot of the messages, if I don't want to accept it, I'm just going to read it, because once I click on accept, it just becomes too much. But yours, I have yours. I have your message, so I know who you are. But your picture,
perfect. Yeah, it's different. And I just want to say one more thing. Everybody like and subscribe. I am one of her mods, and you guys keep it classy, keep it cute, because if not, I will block you, and make sure you be respectful, because Keisha is taking her time every day out of her day to report on this. And I know y'all want her to keep the content coming, but please be respectful, because she is doing a lot doing this. Thank you, Keisha.
You take care. Okay, so who do we have next? We have, I'm just kind of going in order. By Black, you're up. Let me unmute your mic is muted. By Black DFWX, are you here? Are you there? Okay, I'm gonna drop you back down. Okay, Timberlake TM Drake. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, this interview was wonderful. I've been in here a couple of times, kind of behind the bushes, but I'm so glad I caught this.
Okay.
It's just great to hear the information, because on the social media, you hear all these naysayers saying, oh, that's impossible. Those still is impossible. But they broke down exactly great points, great legal points by great, educated, chocolate lawyers that gives us hope, right?
Right.
I can't believe, when the jury went into deliberate, I was working, but when 3 hours later come back to hear This baby got 35 years, and my heart just hit the floor. I'm the mother of four black boys, right? Everybody's grown, but I just can't imagine what that mother's feeling. Okay, I understand that he said I did it, but I don't think he knew to the extent of what had happened. I think he just struck, just maybe out of fear, he just acted and ran. And you could see that when he said, "Is he okay?" I didn't. I mean, I told him not to put his hands on me. He did not know to the extent of what happened. I don't think his intention was to do that at all. I can't believe they opted for a murder one. And then your first caller, you said capital murder. Capital murder is totally different because it's a felony on top of the death. So if he had to rob somebody and then do that to somebody before it's capital murder, that's not capital murder. I think the option of manslaughter may have been a little bit better if he couldn't get self defense, but this child didn't. He didn't deserve murder one. I'm looking forward to see the rest of the road. I'm claiming that he's going to be victorious and he's going to be able to um, help others. He'll be a strong advocate if he gets out of there for other people that are experiencing the same thing. And I agree with you that man in the White House is setting it's setting a precedent that these other people think they can do what they want to do and then stand on it in public, and we're just supposed to take it. So I agree with you. I thank you so much for this. It was so good. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Have a great day. Okay, we gotta bring up. Let's try it again.
Okay, can you hear me?
Are you there? Yes, I
Yeah,
can
I'm
hear
here.
you.
Okay, okay. I don't know
Oh,
what happened. I could hear you. You couldn't hear me. Okay, yeah. So I was listening to the other callers, and I want to just first speak on the Nigerian that said he was talking to his lawyer friends that told him that Carmelo didn't stand a chance. And I thought that was kind of an odd statement when we just listened for an hour for two black lawyers telling us how he could have won the case. So I don't really know where that comment came from because for a whole hour they ran through how they were able to defend their clients each and every time murder cases. So I thought that was kind of weird. The second thing I want to say is that when people say Carmelo said he did it, nobody asked him what he did. And also that statement should not even been admissible in court because work rights were administered to him. He did not get his Miranda rights. There was no magistrate judge reading rights to him. So actually, those statements should not have been allowed in the courtroom, in my opinion. I'm not an attorney. I don't know, in my opinion. Lastly, I want to say, as far as where you live, they live in Collin County. He would have had a totally different experience in Dallas County. I live in Dallas County. So even though we talk about the White House, it also makes a difference where you live, locally too. Pay attention to where you live, who is representing you. If you get in trouble, who are going to be the people to go after you if something like this happens?
right.
And go ahead.
No, I was going to say that is extremely important. That is very important. It took me until I got in my late 40s to realize I ain't finna live around a bunch of white tees. Not saying that I'm racist, but if I need to call the police, I need to know what y'all gonna look like. If I have to call the police and every single time they all gonna be white, I'm not living there. I'm just gonna be honest. What you said, very important. You gotta know where you're living at, who represents you, what they look like. Now, this ain't about race, but Black folks need to represent Black people. Okay, let's just say it like that. So when you're moving in these areas, make sure that you know where you're moving to. I think that I just wanted to re-emphasize that.
And the last thing I want to say, I appreciate you always saying Carmelo did not do this. I feel like that too. Attorneys can't say that, but you know when something is not sitting right with you, when you know it's, first of all, he ran and told it himself. All you've been seeing these people do is lie and cover up ever since the whole, even while their friend was dying, they throwing away evidence, changing clothes, doing all these weird things, and Karmelo is telling on himself, but he don't even know what happened. You know,
Right. The reason why I said that is because I had to go back and kind of think about it. The reason why I thought he did it is because that's what they had told us, right? They showed
Right.
us a video where it seemed that he had admitted it. But now, since we're waiting to watch this video where it shows us what happened, it's edited and they're not showing it to us. Now, one thing I know about this country is they're going to drag a Black person every chance they get. So you're telling me you committed this crime, but you can't show us the video. Then I go back and I think about what I've been told about this case. And I said, well, they told us that he admitted it. So therefore we said, okay, he did do it. But now when I watch the video, now I'm looking at it with a different, my eyes are different now. And he says it's not alleged. First of all, we don't know what he was referring to. He never said, I did it. He said, I'm not alleged. That could have been, I am me. It's not alleged. That could have been one example, and it could have meant other things. I don't believe he knew that that boy had been injured like that. When we watch the video, again, this is their edited video, we see him run off. He's gone. And then we see them still tussling, which is telling me that the tussle happened after he left because he was gone. And so if they're pursuing Karmelo, why are they still tussling?
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense. So it makes me think that Karmelo could have had a weapon and he could have pulled it out, but I don't believe that whatever he had was the one that actually took that boy out of here. Let me tell you more. Why come we can't see the autopsy? Why is it sealed? What are they hiding? That is why I said I don't believe that he actually did it. Now, as an attorney, I'm not an attorney. You are an attorney with a bar card. Of course, you shouldn't probably say that, which, after I thought about it, I said, okay, it makes sense. But I don't think he did it. I believe that he could have had a weapon. And if you think about it, think about a 17-year-old. Let's say you had a weapon and you swung it and you slashed somebody on the arm. I don't know. I'm just speculating. And then you run off and then the adult tell you this person may die. Now you're like, what? You know what I mean? But even then he says, oh, he'll be okay, because he's assuming that what he did is not something that's going to take this person out of there. But then think about people saying, oh, you did it. You did it. So you understand how that can sometimes make you think like, how?
Sorry, y'all. I am changing up some things, y'all. Let's see what's going on, y'all. We got to get some more people up in here because I'm not going to sit and listen to interviews. You know what I mean? I ain't listening to interviews. Where is, that's my stuff. Let me go to history, y'all. Sorry. Where is the history? My channel. Let's go to history. I got a lady that's breaking down a little more. Here she go. Let's go.
From a former homicide prosecutor.
Let's go.
And attorneys and hopefully dispel some myths. Hi, I'm Melba Pearson, also known as the Resident Legal Diva. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel in order to get all the updates on things that are impacting your life from a criminal justice perspective. And also done with a little diva flair from a former homicide prosecutor. I've read, and a lot of my videos are often going on there. But let me just break down a few things from a basic perspective. First off, public defenders are damn good attorneys. A lot of folks be like, what are you talking about? Because it's free. Because in your mind, you're thinking if it's free, it can't be good. It's only good if I pay for it. That's not the case. As someone who is a former homicide prosecutor who tried cases for the...
Listen, they cherry pick when it comes down to prosecutors. they're not good. They all work together. The majority of them are related people. So y'all got to start figuring that out too. When you go up there and have a public opinion, is this the judge? Is the judge even my child's godparent? Everybody that's judges, lawyers, and stuff, they're related. They come from families and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Close to 20 years, I've been up against some public defenders that are gangster. And like, I see their name, I'm like, okay, get ready, y'all, because we gonna be fighting. Because these particular public defenders that I'm thinking of, they are passionate. They are true believers. They will stay up at night, do whatever they need to do to fight for their clients. And they all do this for a low salary, right? Because nobody gets rich being a public defender or a prosecutor. I trust him.
I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't finna listen. You ain't finna come here and break. Let's talk about this young man that got unalived in a boat, y'all. This
Black
bad.
people, you have got to teach your kids, especially your kids that are hanging out with rich white kids. That is not good. You got to stop letting them hang out with rich white kids. This Nolan Wells situation never should have happened. The parents of Nolan Wells should have known better than to let him hang out with these kids. I have an older son. I'm not saying it's the parents' fault, but I'm just saying it happens all the time. My older son is half black. He looked more black than he did half. We as parents, we have to do a better job in informing our children about who they should and shouldn't hang out with, because matters. The color of your skin matters, especially when you're hanging out with a bunch of rich kids that have, doctors and lawyers and judges as parents. You know that your kid is going to either wind up locked up or dead. So my heart goes out to Nolan Wells' family. I really hate that it happened to him, but you gotta protect your children, because white people will kill your children at the drop of a hat. That's just the way it is, especially these entitled little rich white kids.
Okay, let's get straight to the point. So to piggyback off what that guy just said in this video, well, this picture right here is what some would call a root beer float. No disrespect, but it's not hard to determine who is the root beer in this picture. Now, rest in peace to Nolan Wells. Everyone all know by now what happened on 4th of July down in the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Nolan was with some friends on a boat ride. Well, a lot of people go hang out for the 4th of July. And Nolan eventually, did not make it back. Friends made it back, but Nolan didn't. So there's a lot of uproar going on right now. This right here in this picture is clearly, you can see to the right, that is the island, Horn Island, where Nolan Wells and his group of friends and a lot of other people gathered for the 4th of July. Now, it took 2 days for them to finally discover Nolan's body. And the family had to go out there and identify that was their son, the mom and dad. There's a sad situation to, for your son to go out, have some fun on the 4th of July, but don't make it back home safe. Now, the family has since made a GoFundMe, which they have raised almost over $124,000 and started climbing. But now, since raising this money on this GoFundMe, we talk about 6 figures. They have now since hired civil rights attorney. I think he's a civil rights attorney. Attorney Ben Crump. We all know who Attorney Ben Crump is. So Attorney Ben Crump went to his IG page to confirm that he has been retained by the family. Ben Crump wrote this as his caption. He said, "We've been retained by the family of Nolan Wells, a beloved son, teammate, and friend who went out to celebrate the 4th of July and never came home. The wide receiver at Southwest Mississippi Community College was preparing to return for the upcoming football season and will have turned 19 next month. His family deserves answers. They deserve the truth. We will not rest until every fact about what happened to Nolan on Horn Island is brought into the light. And we call all investigators to pursue this case with the urgency and transparency this family deserves." So if y'all not familiar with Attorney Ben Crump, When things like this happen and there are some doubts about what happened, then Attorney Ben Crump, he shows up to get some answers.
We don't just ask for justice, we demand it, we fight for it, and we achieve it.
So often we get asked the question about the differences between the police departments or law enforcement trying to stonewall the requests that we make and the evidence that we're asking for versus a large corporation with so many resources trying to essentially do the same thing, to bury the evidence that we're asking for. It's essentially the same thing. If we take this idea of trying to hide and to bury, it's just simply a tactic that many people use to just avoid accountability.
Katie McCormick, the girl that Nolan was talking to and was last seen with before he attempted to reignite with or unite with his friends, she is now going to be cooperating with the police. Okay. Her family has lawyered up and they have released a statement basically letting it be known that they will be cooperating with the police. Katie recounted her meeting with Nolan, stating that he was supposed to, they were together. Her parents spun the block and came and picked her up. And he was supposed to return back to the boat with his friends because there were several boats in the vicinity. And from her knowledge that he had gotten back to that boat with those friends safely, putting Nolan's last encounter or his last known encounter when he was alive with the friends.
Now, that is some good information right there. But most importantly, accountability is definitely what people want right now in this Nolan Wells case. Now, people got to, be prepared for different outcomes. There's a chance that when his autopsy come back, that it can be, ruled as an accidental drowning. Nobody really knows what happens out there. We just all speculating and going off everything that's coming in from social media and everything. Now, let's move on to Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter, because people are outraged about him right now after he did his interview with ABC Good Morning America. The thing he went on there and said got people feeling some kind of way, like something is fishy in the water, like pen trap.
Nolan Wells was on a boat. He left from a private dock area in the Ocean Springs area and proceeded with his friends to Horn Island. They left and went back without Nolan. From what we understand, he chose to stay there.
Now, Sheriff, why would Nolan Wells decide to stay on an island that the only way you can get back is by boat? You can't drive or do none of that. I mean, what did y'all expect him to do? Walk on water like Jesus? I think not. Now, like I say, people are kind of outraged about the sheriff going on national TV to even say that. Because, it's almost setting up something like, yeah, Nolan wanted to stay out there. They left, he wanted to stay out there. People feel some kind of way because they saying one of the friends' mom is a judge and all this kind of stuff. So people feel like it's some funny business going on. And there ain't no comedian right here telling no jokes. But, I'm trying to figure out, why did they even Good Morning America interview the sheriff? Why not interview the family? But, according to what people are saying, the mother and them, are not ready to talk yet. So they probably will talk that after they have retained their attorney, Ben Crump. They probably will go make some appearances. Now, as the Jackson County Sheriff Department, law enforcement, and everybody that's going to be involved with this case start digging deep, they first need to check into this whole thing about this argument that happened out there. Everybody had been seeing the video all online. In my other previous YouTube video, I posted about it. You have to listen really close in the videos that's been posted, because somebody was clearly having a confrontation. There was clearly comments so about that video where people was there as witnesses saying that, yeah, the group he was with was arguing. Now, who was arguing? What? We don't know. But it was a confrontation going on, and there was plenty of people there that saw it. There was a lot of people out there on them boats for the 4th of July. The island, to my knowledge, what people are saying is pretty big. But in that area that they was in, there was a lot of people right there. Even if you look in the videos, you can see that. So there's a lot that's going to go on with this. Like I say, prepare yourself that this can be ruled as an accidental drowning. We don't know. But people are waiting patiently to see what this is going to turn out to be. Now, like I say, the family also has retained Attorney Ben Crump So I'm sure at some point he's going to be on his way to Mississippi to get down there, have a press conference with the family, and they're going to start kicking up some dust down there in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. And they're going to try to get to the bottom of this and put some pressure on Jackson County Sheriff Department and John Ledbetter to get to the bottom of this and make sure they fairly investigate this case. Because everybody wants those friends to be interrogated. Somebody knows something. Why would Nolan want to stay on the island just out there and don't want to go back home? When everybody else leave, you leave. Now, we all know growing up, the motto is, a lot of people for male and female, is we come together, we leave together. Everybody should be accounted for. Hey, there were 4 of us that came, it's now only 3. Where's the 4th person? Even if you got to stay out there and just until the law enforcement, whatever, you don't leave someone behind. And it's a sad situation. It's really sad. Like I said, condolences to the family, during this difficult time. 18 years old, would have been 19 years old next month. Dreams of being an NFL player, all that has come to an end. All over what? Over what? That's what people want to know. What happened out there on that Horn Island? What really happened? But also, with the GoFundMe that the family has created, the mother had also posted that make sure that people don't really report the GoFundMe that they have out now, due to the fact that there was people who sadly was making GoFundMe trying to make a monetarily come up, and they was making GoFundMe, receiving money on behalf of Nolan Wales, and it wasn't even the family. So the one that she posted is going to have Alaya Dennis. That's the correct GoFundMe. Like I say, they are raising a lot of money over there. People are really donating and really giving to the family during this time. But y'all get in the comments, tell what y'all think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share this video. I'm Grady Matt. Holla.
You guys, they got a lot to be talked about. What do you guys think? Like, what do you really think? Like, what you think that I ain't mean to do that. That's really going on with this crowd. Like, this is stuff. Like, when I tell you that I am so numb right now on everything that's going on, I just wish. I guess that we could listen to her to see what the hell she does. Let me see what she does.
I trust and believe. There's no bonuses. Oh, if you win X.
Girl, shut up. Y'all related.
The same also applies to some private attorneys I know.
Are
I see
you
that
going to
because in order to be eligible for the public defender, you
so you
talk
in
in terms of
using
learning
Karmelo
the rules of
Anthony's name. This woman is using Karmelo Anthony's name to like, and they making money, y'all, right now off of Carmelo's name. This is a money. These people are just agitating my soul. They say Karmelo Anthony seeks new trial after judge TV interview. Let's see what they say. Is this on
Next up, we are following some new details in the Karmelo Anthony saga. Now, him and his new attorney seeking a retrial and a judge's removal from the case here. So this was some news that just came down earlier today that we wanted to bring to you. The attorneys for Karmelo Anthony filed this appeal today, requesting a new trial for the former student athlete convicted in the fatal stabbing of another student at a Texas track meet. Let's bring in our next guest to help break all of this down and so much more. Please welcome everyone, Jeremy Rosenthal, attorney and legal analyst. Great to have you on, Jeremy. And yeah, this comes at a time where just last month he was found guilty and now trying to get the judge thrown out in this case.
Wow.
Right. So in Texas, the court has what is called plenary power. And what that means is that the court still has the ability to make rulings in this case within 30 days of the verdict of the sentence coming down. And the defense has filed what's called a motion for new trial. and that means that the judge could still make some additional rulings in the case. It's standard fare. There's nothing outlandish about a motion for new trial. Most of them are fairly innocuous, and there's a lot of strategic reasons lawyers file motions for new trial. It usually gets filed expecting or not expecting a new trial to be granted. But Judge Roach, what the defense points to is that Judge Roach gave an interview on a local television station defending a lot of his rulings and discussing the case publicly. So that's what their concern is. They don't want him hearing a motion for new trial. They want a new judge to be appointed for that phase.
And another issue the defense is bringing up, they felt they did not like which the speed of the trial was going. Talk about impacts on how the flow of a trial could go.
Right. So this trial, I'll tell you this much, Mike, this is in Collin County, Texas. This is where I practice. I was privileged enough to watch some of the trial firsthand. This is a court that I practice in very regularly. And this judge is nothing if not efficient. And so a lot of times the defense may not like the pace, but there's a lot of things that are left to what's called judicial discretion. A judge has almost unlimited authority really within the four walls of his courtroom, and especially with regards to the timing of the case, the witnesses that are called. In this instance, the court convened on Saturday, I think for 2 Saturdays. So that certainly hastened the pace. I will note the defense did not call nearly as many witnesses. The burden never.
Yeah, they're gonna try to make it sound good. Yeah, judge have certain powers, but they have been stepping over their powers, and that's facts. Nobody complaining against them. That's why they get away with it so much. So he could shut up with that crowd.
Shifts to the defense to do so. But the case did sort of go at breakneck speed, especially towards the end. They moved very quickly into a punishment phase. Texas is one of the rare states that allows a jury to assess punishment. So on the same date that he was convicted and found guilty by the jury, they went pretty hastily into a punishment argument into the punishment phase. So the case was fast, but there's not a lot you can complain about there because the judge just has so much wide discretion.
And Jeremy, the attorney stated in the appeal, one of the motions when it's talking about the speed, they stated saying, when the moment came for the defendant to make the most consequential decision of the trial, whether to waive his Fifth Amendment privilege and testify, the court allotted the defense 10 minutes to counsel a 19-year-old through it and denied counsel's request for additional time. Talk to me about that moment here and if there's any grounds there for this appeal, just based on that.
That again, that's going to be a very tough argument to make. So it's a creative argument, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes. You have the right to effective assistance of counsel. Part of that is to counsel a client on their right to testify or not testify. When you're trying a case, certainly these are things that you think of in advance, and these are things that you usually counsel your client on in advance and prior to the case being in court. And that said, you never know what's going to transpire at trial, so you don't know whether something happens or whether your client might change their mind or whether somebody's testimony didn't go as expected or the defense didn't go as expected. And so a lot of times it can be a game time decision. 10 minutes, it'd be interesting to see if the defense can point to what's called some harm, meaning some constitutional harm, whether that was a deprivation of his right to effective assistance of counsel. It could lend itself to what's called an ineffective assistance of counsel claim had that topic never been broached before until those 10 minutes. In that instance, yes, they're being rushed, but I think the judge and the prosecution would say, well, none of that's our fault. The defense should have seen this coming. So it is a different team that's handling the appeal than was handling the trial.
And so, Jeremy, let's talk about the timeline. So the appeal was just submitted today. What does this timeline look like for them to potentially get an answer?
So under Texas law, you have 30 days to file a notice of appeal. If you file a motion for new trial, that extends that plenary power that we talked about before. The court has 75 days to rule on that motion for new trial from the date that the sentence was handed down. So at that point, it would get kicked up to the Court of Appeals. And a lot of times, you're not really looking to win a motion for new trial, although the defense certainly seems like they are here. But what you're really trying to do is you're trying to develop issues for appeal. So think of it like this. Courts of appeal, the U.S. Supreme Court, there's no witness stand at the U.S. Supreme Court. The U.S. Supreme Court does not accept evidence. They accept legal argument. And every court of appeals is the same way. So if you want the Court of Appeals to review evidence, you have to go to a trial court. You have to go to a judge like this judge, and you have to offer that evidence in the courtroom. This gives you 75 more days to offer new evidence that you can appeal up. So usually that's sort of the strategy that you're kind of taking there. Of course, it would be great for them. Of course, it would be great in their minds if they were granted a new trial, but that's pretty rare, and the judge has to have some legal grounds to do that. And it's obviously a very aggressive move asking the judge to recuse himself.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will see where this all goes through the different types of motions. Jeremy Rosenthal, thanks so much.
Do y'all see how they talk? They just be talking. These people are bold.
Trust and believe. There's no bonuses. Oh, if you win X amount of cases, you get no. The budget is the budget. It's hellified, and that's what
These people is just, they just say shit out of their mouth, y'all. I don't want to hear nothing you saying. Wait a minute. Okay, let's go here, y'all. Let's talk about, I ain't get to look at all this.
The information as it related to the U.S. Congress Representative Pat Fallon. Okay, now,
okay, you guys, Pat Fallon's son allegedly was out there and may have been involved in what took place because there was a alleged fight out there. Okay, so those boys get in trouble, they lose scholarships, they lose a lot of things. So they sacrificed this boy. I don't care what nobody say. And it's not like in a bad sacrifice. It's more like I'd rather he go than my son go type deal. Because all them boys committed crimes out there. He egged the fight. He initiated the fight. Should be in jail. They did a lot of things they shouldn't have done.
now they are saying that his son was there. This changes things, y'all, because it is some stuff going on, and we're starting to think that he may have had a hand in a lot of things.
So
some of you guys even said in the chat that.
Hold on 1 second, so y'all can understand what I'm talking about. The congressman senator son was there.
Oh, my notes just fell. Okay, y'all, let's get into it. So I'm going to give y'all multiple videos a day because I know we got our Karmelo Anthony people, and I'm a Karmelo Anthony person as well, but I don't want to miss out on other news and just talk about the Karmelo Anthony stuff. So that's going to make me work harder, but that's okay. I can work hard. So let's kind of get into it. Now, yesterday when I did my live, we went over the information as it related to the U.S. Congress Representative Pat Fallon. Okay. Now they are saying that his son was there. This changes things, y'all, because it is some stuff going on, and we're starting to think that he may have had a hand in a lot of things. Some of you guys even said in the chat that Pat Fallon was saying all sorts of things about Karmelo, which is actually crazy considering he is a U.S. representative and he should just be quiet. Like, I'm not sure why he would be involving himself, but the folks have been investigating. If you guys recall, I talked about King Cast, King, K-I-N-G, Cast, C-A-S-T. Check him out on YouTube. Check him out on Facebook. I follow him on Facebook and Instagram. On TikTok. I think he does have Instagram. I don't know. I don't really see his Instagram that much, but check him out. He's doing a host of different content. Now, he did submit this letter basically saying that they have proof that his sons was actually there. You know, this guy was given Jeff Metcalf. Okay, so he was acting a little erratic and acting as if he had some involvement just by some of the things he was saying. And unfortunately, I didn't even know anything about this man. But like I said, when you guys were in the chat, you were actually saying, yeah, he said this. He also went onto his social media and said some very disparaging things about the judge. Now, think about this, guys. Why would a U.S. representative say something about a judge? I mean, because y'all got to think about it like this. When you go on your social media and you target a judge, what you're doing is you're making way for some idiot to feel like they can try to judge. The judge, let me just kind of preface what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the judge in the trial. I'm sorry, the judge in the Karmelo Anthony case, the judge that let him out on, I believe it was a $250,000 bail. This Black lady was targeted, and guess what? She's a Trump supporter. So this how I be trying to let y'all folks know, y'all can be a Trump supporter all you want. They don't put you unless you white, okay? So this dude, Pat Fallon, just did a whole bunch of weird stuff. So let's kind of get into it, y'all, okay? Bullshit is going on. But let me just say this before I get into it. As it relates to his appeal, the new lawyers, we call them the Dream Team, they are requesting a new trial, okay? That's one of the things that they're requesting. They want to do over a new trial. Now, what that does not do, what is not doing is giving up his right to appeal. I love it because they're using everything, you know, they're throwing everything that they can, okay? So they're requesting a new trial, and they are also asking that Judge Roach recuse himself. They don't want him as the judge. Skiddy on the skedaddle, get the hell up out of here. So what they're now waiting on is either he's going to recuse himself or they'll have a hearing. Isn't that weird that a judge wouldn't recuse themselves? So that is what we're waiting for as it relates to the appeal. But what I want to talk to y'all about, because I want y'all to pay attention to what's happening here. One of the things, we know that they didn't allow cameras in the courtroom. Now that we're seeing this play out, we understand why, because that was a part of their plan, okay? The gag order, which prohibited them from talking about the case. But we know that the Metcalf side talked about the case, but the Anthony's wasn't allowed to talk about the case. And I'm saying after they did the press conference, they were not able to talk, okay? All of these things worked against them. Everything worked against them, okay? Another thing I want you guys to understand, the case is now over, okay? Karmelo is exercising his right to an appeal. But even right now today, guys, they have not released the autopsy. They have not released the unedited video. They have not released the police camera footage. Now, I want y'all to understand, numerous people, including myself, have requested multiple things, including the transcripts, and I have heard nothing, okay? So why do you think if they say that Karmelo is truly guilty, I mean, he was found guilty, but we don't believe it, right? But why would they hold this type of evidence? I mean, I talk about cases all the time. I always get autopsies, I get videos, and it's a smooth process. In most cases, they'll tell you how much you got to pay, and that's it. But in this case, they're stalling, they're holding the information, and they're not releasing it. When I did my video yesterday and I read the police report, one of the things that I highlighted, y'all, I said the crime scene was contaminated. Now, I'm not a police officer, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm not stupid. The crime scene was definitely contaminated by multiple things. For one, they had way too many people over there, okay? They did not preserve the crime scene. People left. And remember I told you, and just waltzed into the police station and made a complaint. I don't understand how they did not set up some kind of structure where everybody over here was a witness and you cannot move. You can't go nowhere, witness. If you gotta pee, we gotta walk you to the bathroom, okay? So I don't understand how that happened, but the entire scene to me was contaminated. Okay. So what this tells me is they did a poor job as it relates to this case and the scene. Another thing I noticed in the police report is that they said that there was buses of athletes. The first thing came to my mind, I said, I know that they did not talk to everybody on those buses. For one, I knew it would have took forever. For one, they didn't want to do it because really what they should do or they should have done is put those people off and talk to them one by one, and they never did. In fact, I don't even think they got their names because they could have heard something. So the entire thing is really unbelievable. It was very unbelievable. Now, I know I did share with you guys yesterday in the police report where it said, and I put it on the screen, and I said, listen, if y'all want to take screenshots of it, go right ahead, but you're going to have to struggle to read it because it's very small. Now, what we learned in the police report, guys, is that after they took Karmelo to the station, they had made up in their mind that he was going to stay in jail because there was no other suspect. They said he did it. They got his clothes, okay? Made him take off the clothes he had on, put his clothes in a plastic bag, and then they took the clothes out of the police station and met up with, I guess, whoever, I don't know what the name is for that particular individual. I know, wait, I may have it because I know I did take it, put it in my notes, but for the sake of me looking for it, the police actually took the clothes, and in the police report, it stated that they took Karmelo's clothes out of the police station, put it in the trunk, and met up with whoever that took the clothes. Now, somebody told me that that's okay because that's what they do. I ain't never heard of that. You know, where I'm from, they have everything right there in the police station. So I've never heard of that. So maybe that was okay, but to me, it seemed very odd. Okay. So I just wanted to, point that out. So again, right now, we are waiting for crooked, corrupt Judge Roach to either recuse himself. If he does not recuse himself, the Dream Team, which is Karmelo's new lawyers, 6 lawyers, okay, not including Ben Crump, which is lawyer number 7, but he's a civil rights attorney. What we're waiting for now is Judge Roach to recuse himself. If not, they're going to have a hearing for this because they are requesting a new trial. That's the update. And also, this U.S. Representative Pat Fallon, they're saying that his son was there, which makes sense too as to why we have so much corruption. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pat Fallon, but he has a strong connection to MAGA and nasty, dirty Donald Trump. Tons of pictures with Donald Trump. So that should tell you just how corrupt he is. So I'm like I said, I'm going to keep you guys updated with even the smallest little things as it relates to the Karmelo Anthony case. But that is pretty much it. I will be still going over some information that I have, a lot of stuff that I just haven't had the opportunity to go over as I did with the police report. But make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you have not, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. And also, guys, make sure you like the video and also enable your bell notification. When you enable your bell notification, it allows you to get a notification that lets you know that I have uploaded the video or I have went live. Make sure you guys do that. Of course, if you want to support the channel, you can always send in a super chat. You can also send
videos not shown to the jury because the judge barred the videos from being played. We don't know why the judge barred these videos. We've been asking this question for the past couple of days, but finally, thanks to 2 American citizens that filled out the Freedom of Information Act and was able to see the video, at least now we know what is in the video. I'm going to play these clips for you. Keep in mind 3 things that I got from this video. One, you're going to hear that this gentleman says, what you see in that video does not directly correspond with witness statements. I've been saying that for the past couple of days. This was under Austin Metcalf's school's tent. All the witnesses were all Austin Metcalf's friends. They were all his buddies. You think they're going to testify against his homies? You don't do that. And even if you didn't like Austin, you still have to go back to the school. So this video is it directly proves that some of the witness testimony was incorrect. You're also going to hear this gentleman say that there were 6 kids that approached, 6 kids that you see in the video, 2 leave off, and then there was 4 boys that approached Karmelo. Just remember, the defense was, his claim was self-defense. He felt like he feared for his life. That's why he took out the knife. If you are a boy, a 17-year-old boy, and you are 140 pounds and you're 5'7", 5'8", and there's 4 boys all over 6 feet tall, over 200 pounds, you might feel a little bit threatened as well. Again, keep in mind, the jury was not aware of this. And the last thing you'll hear him say is that Karmelo flew, meaning ran at an incredibly fast pace out of the video. And that is proof that you're fearing for your life. Listen to this.
Yeah, so again, my name is Tony Sturdivant. I was one of the individuals that put in a FOIA request to see the video. What I saw was starkly different from the testimony that I heard given in the trial. There were 6 kids that walked up, 2 splintered off. I guess that part of was introduced in the trial where they went to deflect the coach. The other 4 walked directly to Karmelo Anthony. There was a brief conversation, I say maybe 20, 30 seconds. And from there, a scuffle ensued. It didn't last long. Karmelo backed out the back of the canopy. He looked one way, looked to the left, and flew down those bleachers. Now, this is the video that was presented to us. This is the questions that I have, though. Why wasn't that video presented in court? And is it the true video? Because, again, it's starkly different from the testimony given in the trial. Karmelo Anthony flew down those bleachers, fell at the bottom of the bleachers, got up, took off. It was maybe 2 or 3 kids that you can see kind of give chase, but Karmelo was gone, so they weren't even going to put a finger on him and touch him. But I don't know why that was not brought up in court. I don't know why that was shown. I don't know, but that's what I saw.
Okay, now let's listen to the other witness that filled out the Freedom of Information Act. And in her video, you'll hear her mention a few things. One, when you fill out the form and you get approved and you get to watch the video, they ask, hey, do you want to see 2 minutes before the incident or you want to see 11 minutes? Thank the Lord, she said, no, I want to see everything. I want to watch 11 minutes. And in that 11 minutes, she said that she sees Karmelo Anthony sitting in or around the tent for 8 to 10 minutes. Remember I told you guys yesterday, in yesterday's video, I'm going to pin it below, that he was invited to the tent. A lot of people are talking about, oh, this tent culture and you're not allowed to be under another school's tent. His school didn't have their own tent and it was raining. He was invited by somebody who he knows. He knew that person's family well. We told you about that yesterday. So it's not like he was there for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and then it was like everybody was telling him to get out. He was underneath the tent and in the area for 8 to 10 minutes. Proof that he was chilling. Then you see her, the same thing like this other gentleman just said, 4 boys approaching Karmelo. Once again, I just want to reiterate, this is not information that the jury was privy to because of the judge. You're also going to hear her say that Karmelo tries to back out and then he gets pulled back in by his hoodie by one of these 4 boys. And then she says, after after the incident, when Karmelo Anthony flees away, she says that there's 3 boys that chase after him. Again, information we were not privy to. Take a listen.
Karmelo Anthony, my name is T, and when I went to see the video, they asked if you want to see it from either 2 minutes before the stabbing or 11 minutes before. So I chose 11 minutes. From the moment she pressed play, Karmelo Anthony was already sitting up underneath that canopy, and he was sitting there for at least 8 to 9.5 minutes. You see, well, I saw a boy in a black hoodie go over to him first, and then they left out of the tent, and then you see coming across the field was another 6 boys. When they got to the bleachers, one, he went out of frame, and the other one sat at the bottom. But the remaining 4, they went directly to Karmelo Anthony. And like T said before, it was a brief conversation, and then all you see is commotion. And we know from the interviews that Hunter did, we know that Hunter was, in fact, up underneath that tent. The next thing you see, you can see Karmelo in the midst of them assaulting him. You can see Karmelo trying to back out, but he gets pulled back forward. The next thing you see is Karmelo. He comes shooting out the back, but he's still not standing. And he had to like kind of crab crawl backwards, and he had to like jerk away from them because they still had a hold of his hoodie. He goes up a couple bleachers and he's looking around for which way to go. He runs diagonally down the bleachers and then he falls. At the time of him falling, that's when I noticed another 3 boys coming down the bleachers chasing after him. But once Karmelo got up, he took off. You didn't see him for the rest of the video.
Now listen to her point out a lie, a clear and blatant lie. You're going to hear her say, at no time in this video do you see Hunter Metcalf, Austin's twin, holding his brother. There's been reports, and if I'm not mistaken, testimony that Austin passed away in Hunter's arms. She says that is a lie. Take a listen.
At no point in that video do you see Hunter holding his brother. At no point in that video do you see those boys ever going back to the tent and sitting down. That was all a lie.
Now listen to her ask the exact same question that I've been asking. Why was this video not played for the jury? Because she says this is irrefutable evidence that his claims of self-defense are true. This is what just an American citizen is saying. Now, times that by 12 jurors. You're telling me not one of the 12 would think, oh, this is a self-defense claim? But again, why wasn't the video played? Was it the defense? Because now we know from yesterday's video that I made for you guys, their parents now, Karmelo Anthony's parents, has fired the defense team. They feel like they can't trust anybody anymore. Did the defense try to submit this video? Did they try to submit it and then the judge blocked it? Why not? Why not give the jury every single piece of evidence? Listen to this.
I also have questions. I don't know how the defense did not play that video. Because when you see that video, it was self-defense. Karmelo was only 5'8", 130-something pounds, and Austin and Hunter Metcalf were 6'1", 220-something pounds. So for people to say that he should have used his hands, people can from fights, from people using their hands. And that's all I'm going to say for right now.
Now just imagine that's just 1 or 2 videos. There's also a ton of other information that we are not privy to, the public, and the jury was not privy to either. Things like Austin and his brother were known to be a little aggressive with people at school. If I'm not mistaken, they were both suspended. If not, it was Hunter that was suspended from school. That is why Hunter was not put on the stand. That's why the father wasn't put on the stand, because it would open up questioning from the defense to say, well, hey, what kind of boys were you? What kind of boy was Austin? Now, does that mean that Karmelo would have known that at that time? That could have been reason why the judge didn't allow that testimony and why the prosecution didn't allow that testimony. But like I keep on saying, a great defense lawyer will find a way to bring that into court. And that would make it easier for the jury to understand how or why Karmelo felt like his life was being threatened and why he had to defend himself. Like I've said throughout this entire week, the defense was horrible. Happy to hear now that the parents agree with me, firing them and now going on to get a new defense team for the appeal. But hold on, I'm weary about the appeal. Before we get to the appeal, I want to play one more video from you from an attorney who used to be an attorney in the same district. He has made an application to get all trial exhibits, which is very, very important. I'll tell you why. During court proceedings, preliminary, you get to, as a defense attorney, you get to say, hey, I want these 100 pieces of evidence admitted. That's when the judge says, no, you can't submit this. No, I don't want the jury seeing this. And he has to give reason. But because this judge banned cameras, media, and all motions and exhibits, we are not able to see any of that until after the trial. The judge said he doesn't want to sway or do anything. No, I told you guys already, it's not about swaying media. It's about he didn't want public attention, because when you have public attention, you get to have a trial. You end up having a trial like George Floyd, and there was so much international pressure that they had no choice but to find Derek Chauvin guilty. Judges now are privy to this, and they're like, if the judge is on the prosecution side, hey, let me try to keep this as local as possible. We don't want any international issues or problems, so that we could get what we want. And it looks like they did get what they want, because now Karmelo Anthony has been found guilty, gets sentenced 35 years, and now the international community is in an uproar. Okay. Listen to this attorney say that he is going to file to get exhibits. He also questions the defense, like I have been questioning. And his two big questions are things that I've been saying all week. Why was there no expert witnesses? And why was there no jury consultants? Why? We told you that I was covering the Diddy trial. That is where the bulk of your money has to go, because jury trials are won and lost from the jury. And we all know that there was 3 black teachers that were stricken from the jury because of the prosecution, which will be under for grounds of appeals. But the defense did a horrible job picking the jury. And I showed you guys yesterday, it's predominantly an all-white jury. Yes, there's some Asians there, or yes, there's one person who mixed that could be Hispanic, but all 18 are predominantly white. And Karmelo Anthony is a 17-year-old black boy. You're supposed to be judged by a jury of your peers. They're all mostly white men and women, or Asian, in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. That's not a jury of your peers. Listen to this, and then we'll talk about the appeal.
I'm Christopher King. I actually was a licensed attorney in Collin County several years ago, working with the city of Frisco on a certain project. But I'm Christopher King. My handle is KingCast online. I'm also a journalist, and I have a couple things for you briefly. Today, I have filed my request for all exhibits used at trial. We'll see how that turns out. I had mailed it in before with a self-addressed stamped envelope, didn't get a response, so I figured I'd fly down here and file it in person this time. So as to this trial, what I see as an attorney, I saw what I believe to be malpractice. And I don't know why it happened, but I will tell you a couple of quick reference points. Number one, he allowed those students, young people, not professional people, to testify as to ultimate issues of fact, such as, was or not? Yes. Was there provocation? Karmelo provoked him. That's not how it works. You have to make them elocute as to what Karmelo did to allegedly provoke a situation. That's how it works. And when you don't object to it, in the cases in chief, you cannot come back later post hoc and then ask the judge and complain about it in a jury charge. There were also no expert witnesses produced. No use of force expert. No jury. No jury professional consultant was there that I know of. Okay, so these are all very serious questions on this case, and I don't understand it, but I don't like it, and I think this is the proverbial travesty of justice that we have just witnessed here. And there needs to be an investigation. It's not right. It's just not right.
All right, let's get to talking about appeal. The reason why this appeal process is going to be probably even more important than the trial is because this will be Karmelo Anthony's last chance, or second to last chance, because after this appeal court, The last chance will go to the Supreme Court, and I really doubt it will get there. I mean, if there's enough public push, maybe. But I'm going to play you a video. These 9 judges are voted on by the people. And right now, as it stands, there's 9 Republicans. There's different stages of appeal. Listen to the breakdown and how important it will be to vote this November in this county when it comes to Karmelo Anthony. Take a listen.
Everybody's asking me about the Karmelo Anthony conviction on Tuesday, and let's talk about his appeal. His appeal goes first to the 5th Court of Appeals here in Dallas. That court must hear his initial appeal, and 3 judges from that court will read it and rule in writing. Now, if we don't vote for those judges, others will vote the GOP judges in, and those judges tend not to really care much about us, if at all, right?
Sorry, I don't want to hear no commercials. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Let's see what's on the agenda. Y'all, Tika girlfriend is going to jail. White went to jail for kidnapping her child. Like, what a psycho. Let's see what's going on with Tika, y'all.
I'm listening. Go on. Yes.
Girl, they got a lot going on, child. A lot going on with old Tika, God. It just was strange. Nobody has
in
never...
there and hurt her for him. Girl, are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? You started this. You done took this man's phone. He is simply saying, give me my phone. He's even being gentle. The N-words that I know would have slung you all up and through there. Girl, get this man back his stuff. Then her son standing there like a little female. I'm just like, this is too much. This man waited till he was in his 50s to have a child by this hoe right here. She done ruined his whole life. She done ruined his whole life. Miss 3 to 4 baby daddies. I don't understand what did he see in this? Why did he want something like this? Why do men feel like a woman who done pushed out 4 kids by 4 different men are worthy? I just don't understand. What did he see in this trash? This woman is a trash box. She done pushed out all of these children by all these different men. And guess what? None of them can see their kids because allegedly the damn man is scared of her. They said the man is scared of her. We're going to get into this other video where Aaliyah's father is saying that she put him in jail for the same shit. The other baby daddy, he can't see his child. Why was he dealing with this crazy hoe? Like, seriously. Girl, you have 3 baby daddies and none of them see the kids. You can't keep telling me the same story. Now, I understand everybody done had an issue or 2, but every one of your baby daddies, none of them see the kids. None of them like you. Girl, get on up out of here. This was a trash box. But listen to this, y'all. They tried to tell him. Why didn't he listen? I ain't never had a relationship where somebody warned me. You know what I'm saying? I wish somebody would have warned me. He could have been nice about it. You see what happens? They tried to tell him, and now he's in the same situation. But I believe Tika may know where that little girl is. That's what I think. I think he may know something.
Bro, just get off her. You can buy a new phone. Get off of me! Mr. Tiger!
That irritated my soul. And the boy like, Mr. Tigger, why don't you tell your mammy to get a man back his damn phone?
Get off of me!
You need back my phone.
Get off of me!
You need back my phone. You don't need it. What do you need it for?
Get off of me.
What do you need it for?
Get off of me, please.
I feel like she told her son to come and record this. Exactly. Tigger, he is the most unproblematic person. Like, seriously, the most unproblematic. And you can tell he is, even in this exchange, she says, you're on my something. And he says, oh, sorry. Girl, the average Negro would have slammed you up into that wall. Give me my phone, ho. Ain't nobody trying to be nice. Even in this exchange, he was still saying sorry. Leave this man alone. Leave him alone. If he was cheating, leave him. Go on about your business. Why are you trying to ruin somebody's life because they cheated? You weirdo, you crazy. This is a crazy chick.
As soon as you give me my phone.
Please get off
It's
of me.
my phone.
Please get off of
It's
me.
registered in my name.
Please get off of me.
Give me my phone.
You're sticking my ear in my ear.
Sorry.
Get off of me.
He says, sorry. Who says sorry? He says sorry. But she wants to paint this man as abusive. The same thing she's done to all her baby daddies. Why didn't he take heed? The woman was crazy the whole time.
Give me my phone.
Please get off of
You
me.
can stay right on the floor.
You're a fucking manhandler.
I'm not manhandling.
Tigger,
Give
get
me
off.
my phone.
Do you not see all them cracks?
Give me
Bro,
my phone.
why did
Stop.
you
I'm
do
not
that?
doing that.
Yes,
She
you did. You
dropped.
did.
She dropped. She dropped.
Bro, you're literally stepping on her.
I'm not stepping on her, Alex. I just want.
This son of hers is getting on my nerves too. Like, seriously. I mean, this little boy who she's raising him up the wrong way, because everybody in my household would have been like, just give the phone back. Like, exactly, child, please. You're literally stepping on her. We can see the damn video. That man is not putting no feet on her. Now, like I said, the men that I know would have put feet and hands on this hoe. Like, come on, give me my phone, ma'am. Like, are you okay? Why do you need somebody's phone? Like, that's too much. This is a crazy lady. I don't want to be in some man phone. If I think you cheating, I just think you cheating. I don't need to look in your phone. Why are you in his phone? This is crazy. This is crazy. This is what kids do. And then you sitting here hollering as if he is hurting you. When you are the aggressor, she should be arrested for taking his phone.
She can give me the phone and it'll be over. She can give me the phone and it would be over.
Bro, just get over her. She's gonna
I'm
give
not
you.
on her at all. Give me my phone.
Get off.
You hear this little boy keep saying, get off of her. Tell me where he on her. Where is he on this woman? He ain't putting no feet. I'm telling you, the folks I know would have put feet on her, for real. For real, for real. Like, girl, you are asking for a whooped ass. Like, serious. He is being so nice and so gentle, and you took it upon yourself to get this man fired from his job, which is crazy. Don't you need money to take care of your son, you idiots? You mean to tell me she's so mad that she would rather him lose his job? I need you to keep all the jobs that you can get, sir. You have a child to take care of, but you so bitter and so crazy that you would rather him get fired from his job. This is too much. Who knows where the baby is? Well, we know right now the baby ain't with her because her ass is in jail. Hopefully with the father.
Give me my phone.
See, if I was anybody else, you wouldn't be doing this.
If you say so. Give me my phone.
Bro, just get over her. You can buy a new phone. Get off of me! Mr. Tiger!
And y'all hear how that boy is just screaming like that? Mr. Tigger! What? Let me read this super chat. Lakeisha, where is the injury and blood that requires stitches in the video? Honestly, that's a good question. That's a good question. Here's the deal with that. If y'all remember, this lady posted a video with stitches. I don't recall if it was the next day or 2 days later, she posted a video and there was nothing there. We don't even know if that was real or if that was just makeup. I don't know. Again, I don't trust this woman. I don't believe anything that she says. If this is what she is calling as abuse, I mean, I don't see the abuse. In order for it to be abuse, he got to put hands and feet on her. Trying to get my shit is not putting hands and feet on you. Even in this picture, you hear this video, you hear him saying, "Oh, I'm sorry." This man he's not a problem, okay? He's not trying to hurt you. Even you taking his phone, he's still not trying to do anything to you. But what she failed to realize, okay, people down here in Atlanta, honey, they love them some Big Tigger. And this hoe just got arrested. So I just wanted to show y'all the video. But she has since been wait, let me make sure I'm sharing the right one. Where is it? What happened? All right, wait a minute, y'all. But she has since been arrested. So Miss Alicia has been arrested, y'all, for kidnapping. And see, here's my question. I want to see what y'all saying in the chat. Do y'all think they done found her, or what do y'all think? Because as it relates to her being arrested, it only states that she was arrested on a warrant. So she has apparently a warrant in Maryland, okay? So isn't that kind of crazy though? The lady is getting in contact with the police knowing she got a damn warrant. This is how you know she's a weirdo type chick. So let's get into it, because y'all, let me just read this, because y'all gonna be like, what? It says the ongoing legal drama surrounding Big Tigger and his estranged wife, Alicia Brown, has taken another unexpected turn. According to TMZ, Brown was arrested Monday night. Y'all, this was last night in Georgia after authorities located her SUV during a felony traffic stop on Interstate 85. Officials say deputies were searching for the vehicle in connection with the outstanding kidnapping-related warrants issued out of Georgia. Here's my deal. Don't this lady got a job? Like, I don't understand. How does she have a warrant and she was never arrested? I'm confused. How does that work, y'all? How does that work? So she had a warrant in Maryland. Again, I'm still confused, because why wouldn't you get the warrant cleared up? That's weird. How the hell do you have a warrant and you calling the police telling them somebody jumped on you? I'm still confused. I don't understand how she didn't get arrested before. Do y'all think maybe Big Tigger? I mean, if he ain't, he should. I mean, what y'all think is going on here? Because, I mean, I don't understand how she has a warrant for hit. Well, I understand how she has the warrant, but why wasn't she arrested before? But anywho, so it says, though, they were searching for her vehicle in connection with a felony kidnapping warrant out of Maryland. It says law enforcement officials told the outlet that Brown was taken into custody without incident and that 2 children who were inside the vehicle were safely recovered. TMZ reports that one of the children was the son Brown shares with Big Tigger, whose legal name is Darian Morgan. Authorities say Brown is facing a felony interference with child custody charge in Georgia and is expected to be extradited to Maryland. So her ass is in jail and they're going to be sending her ass down to Maryland. So I wonder who got the kids. Somebody say, doesn't she work for the government? I'm not sure, but I was told that she works somewhere, and most jobs do background checks. So how is it that, I don't know. I really don't, but this is good news, because this trash bag needs to be off the streets, okay? She's ruining people's lives. She's creating child after child, taking them away from their father. She needs to be off the streets. So I'm not sure why she wasn't arrested sooner, but we glad to have this trash bag off the streets, okay? We always talking about men that's trash, but we really need to start talking about some of these trash bag box women, okay? So she has been arrested. They're going to send this hooker back to Maryland, okay? Because she has an outstanding warrant. Now, in the vehicle were 2 children. They have Big Tigger's son, and another child. I don't know who the other child is. Investigators reportedly alleged the Maryland warrants stem from the 2019 disappearance of a 10-year-old child. Additional details surrounding the allegations have not yet been released publicly. Now, 2019, okay, how many damn years is that? Because we into how many years is that, y'all? I got to get my calculator out. Shit, I don't know. So 2019, wait a minute. So wait a minute. This hoe been having a warrant for 7 years? That's weird. And she never, I guess. Yeah, this isn't so okay. Yeah, somebody said that what I showed you guys wasn't the full video. This one was released just recently. Now, there is a video where he's still trying to take the phone out of her hand. So, regardless to however the struggle happened, keep your damn hands off of people's stuff. He was trying to take his phone. He was never trying to hurt this crazy lady. This lady has a pattern of this same behavior with everybody she has a child with. So no, this is not that video. This is, so the first video that you guys saw that was released, I can look it up. That was the, what is that? The ring cam video or something. But you know, we know she's in jail now. So I don't know who's releasing this other one. I don't know if it's her son, but no, it's not the full video. But at the end of the day, it was still about her taking this man's phone. So it says the arrest comes amid an already highly publicized and contentious split between Brown and the former BET Rap City host. In recent weeks, Morgan was arrested. Remember, Big Tigger, that's his name. He was arrested on aggravated battery and cruelty to children charges stemming from an alleged domestic incident involving Brown. He has denied the allegations against him. Well, I mean, I feel like, you know, she probably had her damn son to take this video. Somebody said, am I sure she's not out on bail? Well, okay. According to this right here, she wouldn't be able to get out on bail because this says that she has to be extradited. So let me make sure you guys understand. She didn't have a warrant in Georgia. She has a warrant in Maryland. So what they're saying is they have to extradite her back to Maryland. Okay. So I don't believe she's out on bail because she would have to go back. Whenever you have a warrant in another state, you actually have to go back to that state. So I don't know how she would be out on bail because this happened yesterday. And I mean, go check it out. It clearly states that she was arrested because she has a warrant in another state. Let me go back and find it, y'all. I know it's in here. It says, okay, it says, according to TMZ, Brown was arrested Monday night in Georgia after, wait a minute, I done lost my place. She was arrested Monday night in Georgia after authorities located her SUV during a felony traffic stop on Interstate 85. Officials say deputies were searching for her vehicle. So they was looking for her car in connection with an outstanding kidnapping related warrant in Maryland. So this is in Maryland. They're going to extradite her back to Maryland. So she couldn't be out on bond. She would have to get it from that state. Georgia cannot give her a bond on a warrant from Maryland, just so you know. Exactly. I have no idea. You asking the same questions I was thinking. I don't know how anybody would have a warrant and just be riding around. I don't know. But you say, why didn't she take care of the warrant if she didn't know where the child was exactly? You know, guys, I don't know about y'all, but you know, if Big Tigger ain't telling on this hoe, he better. Because think about it. If she has a warrant, it almost makes me think that she probably has a fake ID, because who is rolling around the city with a warrant all on the highways and shit? Right. She's in jail waiting to leave to go to another jail. Well, that's how it goes. If you have a warrant in another state, yes, you have to be extradited. So unless Maryland say they don't want her, you know, that's the only way that, you know, they will let her go. But she's in jail, y'all. She is in jail. Somebody said FAFO. Alicia viciously tried, she really did. Alicia viciously tried to harm Tig, and now she's in serious trouble and he can't save her. He better not try to save her. This is this is an opportunity for him to take custody of his son, because judging from this lady's past, I feel like she probably would have left and went to another city. I mean, where are these kids' fathers at? Where are the kids' father? I don't know if you guys heard, it's a video out. Let me see if I can find it. But it is a video out where her baby, I'm going to let y'all hear it, where her baby father is saying some very interesting things about her. I'm about to let y'all hear it. Give me a second here. I'm going to see if I can ring it up. But her baby father, one of them, I mean, she got a few of them. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna let y'all hear this. I can't show you the video. I'll let you hear it. This is a call from her, Aaliyah's father. Yes, and if you are in here, please hit the like button. I really appreciate it.
Aaliyah is now 17. Who was Aaliyah as a little girl?
She was vibrant. She was very active. She was into a lot of activities, cheerleading, dance, primarily dance. She was in ballet. She did soccer. She was pretty much just a vibrant young child.
What was your favorite memory at that time with her?
My favorite memory at that time was when we went to the carnival. Was probably, I think she might have been about 5. Well, we went to the carnival and we just had pretty much endless fun. It was probably one of the best times we had together.
What kind of father were you trying to be?
I mean, I was trying to be the best father to my daughter, a protector, a provider. I'm her biggest fan, so I would have been supportive in anything that she was, trying to do. I went to the activities that I didn't know about, so I was just trying to support, protect, and encourage her to be, a successful adult and go on from there.
How would you describe your relationship before the custody battle intensified?
I would say it was a little rocky.
Can y'all hear the audio? Can you guys hear the audio? This is her father on the phone talking about when Aaliyah came up missing and the relationship, everything that was happening surrounding, before she came up missing. Are you guys able to hear the audio? Okay. She said we can hear it. Okay.
Because she was so stressed out during that time, I feel like, because she didn't have any type of security in a sense. Every day there was something new happening as far as where she needed to go. Well, almost every day, every week, she had a new location of where she needed to go, the things that had been going on in court, the things that her mom had been doing in between the court proceedings and trying to just keep showing up and just always popping up wherever she was. It was really confusing her. So I think she was very, I'm gonna say a bit on edge or hesitant when it came to just showing her emotions or feelings toward me.
And I saw in the documents that the judge said her mother was a heavy influence on her. Before Aaliyah was even born, what was your relationship like with Alicia?
Before she was born, it wasn't that long. So it was, we met, we got along until we didn't. And when we didn't get along, or when we got into an argument or a disagreement, I quickly learned the methods and routes that she's willing to take to get some get back or retaliation. And I can't deal with a person like that, even whether it be my own child's mom or anyone. I can't associate myself with that.
Looking back now, do you think the custody fight began because the romantic relationship ended?
Absolutely not. The court case began not even because of the casino incident. The court case began because I was always having trouble having consistent time and just spending time with my daughter. There was no other way I was going to get over this hill without the court's help. I could have did gloves off and just do it the unconventional way, but that would not have solved anything in this type of situation.
Of course, we all heard about the tragic story. Why do you think the judge changed her 3-year sentence to, I believe, 5 days after the casino incident?
Well, I expressed my disgust, utter disgust, but it fell on.
I just want to jump in there for a minute because they're talking about the casino incident. So for the people who don't know what the casino incident means, this lady went to a casino and left her child in the car. Now, you should never leave your child in the car, not even if you're running into some place. You really shouldn't, okay? This girl left her child in a casino, in a car while she was in a damn casino gambling. The child had been in the car for hours, okay? That's why they call her casino mom.
Enough years, and the judge made that decision and had some type of modification in place after the probation period, so it wouldn't be counted against or go against her record. But they gave her a slap on the wrist, and that's just kind of the best way to put it.
Do you think she's connected by any way with anyone? I know she worked at the Baltimore mayor's office, because I just don't understand how could this happen time and time again. Was this brought up in the court?
The casino incident is definitely a pillar in the case as to show her behavior when it came to our daughter. Mm-hmm. So, yes, it was all talked about through and throughout the case, as well as the custody evaluation from the court social worker. They always highlighted that even though it had been 3 years removed, or at least a couple years removed at that point, the problem that they had was that she never acknowledged the totality of the incident. She never acknowledged just how severe of a thing this was and how damaging this could be to a child. She just brushed it off as if, it was a small, isolated kind of incident.
So you don't think there was ever a time that you and Alicia could co-parent successfully?
Yeah, whenever I did whatever she wanted me to do, and that kind of doesn't work. The control factor is not something. The control factor that she kind of possesses is not something that anybody can really follow. So we did try to co-parent. We were doing it. I don't know. Sometimes it would last as good as 4 months. We're fine. Then we get in an argument or disagreement about something, and now I can't see my daughter anymore. So
okay, I wanted to jump in there. Did y'all hear what he said? Whenever he did not do what this Looney Tune wanted to do, he couldn't see his daughter. This is the same situation with Big Tig. She, for some reason, feel like the man is cheating. Girl, if he's cheating, break up with him. You don't get to interfere with this man in his child relationship, you goofy. This is the same thing her last baby father, well, not the last one, the first baby father said. Whenever he didn't do what she wanted him to do, he couldn't see his child. Come on now, this is some bullshit. Lock this hoe up. She doesn't need to have custody of any kids. None. She doesn't need to have any kids. This lady is crazy. Yes, casino mom.
Back at square one. Our disagreements was, hey, do you think I could take her to the movies? Yeah, you can take her on this date. And I'll be like, well, can I take her on the movies on Saturday? She's like, you can take her on Sunday. I'm asking about Saturday because I'm not able to take her Sundays. Things like that. When I'm not able to do something or provide in a sense, then it's okay. Well, you see why I don't bother with your father, or you see what your father does. He just don't.
Wait, somebody said a man is doing 20 years because of her. No, you got to give me more information on this. I know nobody in jail for 20 years for this skeezer. Somebody said, okay. Somebody said men lie, women lie. When I see comment, I don't know what this means. This ain't a conversation about who lie. Men lie, women lie, kids lie. But this is about this lying asshole. This is what we talking about. This lying hoe that needs to be in jail. We talking about her. Somebody said somebody is in jail for 20 years. What? I know y'all lying. I know y'all lying. I hope nobody ain't in jail for 20 years for this bird brain hoe.
I didn't care about you.
About how long did the custody battle last?
This is what people need to kind of capitulate. When she left my daughter in the car, she was 4. I filed for custody twice before that.
She left a 4-year-old in the car. A 4-year-old child in a car while she took her raggedy ass to gamble. What kind of mama is this?
And the reason why I couldn't get in court is because I could never find an address to serve her. So when the casino incident happened, I filed again. We got her served, and there's a process before you have to go through before you even get a court date, and they want you to do like pretty much the alternatives to actually having a trial, because that really costs the most money. They want you to try to figure this out before that point. That took 3 years. I didn't get a court date until 3 years later.
I'm sorry, you are so right. I left that out, and I was thinking it was 8 hours, but I didn't want to say the wrong thing. This raggedy hooker leaves her child in the car, y'all, for 8 hours. This lady is crazy. Who does that? 8 hours, y'all. They should have gave her 8 years.
When she was 7. And then when I finally got into court to have a court date, it took 18 months of trial and proceedings and petitions and me asking for contempt and me just pretty much reporting all the things that had been happening to the judge. Totality, it was a 5.5-year process.
And throughout the case, there were just serious allegations made towards you. The findings were unsupported. Like, how did you react to those allegations when they were first made?
I reacted how anyone would act that never been accused of something like that. I was furious, but I was more than helpful and wanting to be helpful to help them disprove whatever the allegations were. But I was upset, and my career, my job was.
I appreciate it, y'all. I just learned something. So, Lakeisha, when women are claiming domestic violence, a lot of them are granted a brand new social security number and a new name for protection from their abuser. Y'all, this is so messed up. You know, this is so messed up because I don't believe this raggedy hoe was ever abused. I believe she was the abuser. Y'all gotta watch out for these crazy. Why do y'all continue to have babies by women that have all these children? It would be the same reason women, why y'all have babies by men that have all these children. What does any man see in this lady? Like, seriously, lady, if you were not able, out of all of the men you had, to build relationships, so at least your children could have relationships with their father, I don't want to have anything to do with you. So that answers the question then. If her claiming domestic violence, I didn't know that you could get a different name and a different social security number. Well, that would make sense, because then if she applied for a job, they would never be able to, she needs to go to jail. I feel like she did this simply to get the new social security number and a new name. I ain't know nothing about that. I didn't know that. So think about it. By her getting a new social security number and a new name, actually, that's dangerous, because now her new employer don't even know about her past history. Ooh, Y'all, this is a mess right here. This is bad. If you guys are coming in, go ahead and hit the like button. I appreciate it. I'm going to continue with the audio. We have her, Aaliyah's father is on the phone, and we're listening to his interview.
The fact that, I lost things because of those allegations. So I was very upset.
Did you feel that the law enforcement and the courts investigated fairly?
I think that the process was done fairly. I just think it was done at a snail's pace versus if that were me doing some of those things that you read, I would not even, it wouldn't have gone on that long. If I would have left my daughter in the car at 4 years old, I wouldn't have custody to this day. And it's just simple as that.
They offered me $3,000 for my minor acts. This Harvard AI.
And as far as their investigation, the police, they're doing everything they're supposed to because there's more garnered attention now. But when this happened, they dropped the ball as well. There was no Amber Alert that went out. There was no posting of her being missing until about a week of her being missing. That's when the first "Have you seen this child?" photo went out, not when it happened.
It's disturbing to hear.
What's most disturbing is that they're in the same building as the daughter.
Now, don't come in here with this bull crap, Chris Norwood. No, it's not too risky. Men, just like women, need to start picking the right people. You know, women, I mean, men, y'all want somebody with a BBL and all of this bullshit. You know, you don't necessarily have to get all of that, you know. Not saying that you can't find a decent BBL, but there are, you know, nice people out here. It's just the ones that, you know, men keep picking the wrong ones, and so do women. It's a lot of good people out here. So you just gotta, I mean, when you think about Big Tig, what I was thinking, I said, damn, I remember when he was on the radio saying that he wanted to have a child. So I wonder, was he just so desperate that he just, I don't know, but I never, when I first saw him in, you know, when he had the pictures with her, I didn't know all her damn kids had different fathers. Like, I would have been like, wait, why you want to marry this lady? So I don't believe that that's true. I believe that women and men always pick the same people, just different names. I don't think that that's true. I just don't.
Department of Social Services, they have the child division in the same building. So they are very familiar with the same case, the same person, and still, that's what happened.
Is this when she entered foster care?
Yeah, toward the end of the investigation.
Somebody said, what state is that? This is Maryland. And I don't know what y'all heard, but he actually said longer than 3 years. I thought it was longer than that because initially he said he had sought out to get custody. Maybe he did say 3 years. Okay, maybe I'm off. But I do recall it was a long time. So think about Aaliyah came up missing at 7. This man had already been in court for years trying to get his daughter. The day that he got custody, I don't remember if they said she was, you know, she had got kidnapped that day or the next day. But it's clear, girl. But just think about this, y'all. As a woman, let me just tell y'all how I feel. Let's say my daughter or my son and the father got custody. I would probably be mad, but I'm never. Here's the deal, y'all. This is really crazy. This lady has a serious mental problem. This woman allegedly, because she did not want the child to be with the father, she kidnapped her own child. So do you know what that does to the child? We're talking about a whole person. You took this child away from everybody they knew and loved because you are freaking crazy. How do you do that to a human being? A child at that. So imagine a 7-year-old now being hid away. I don't know if she was homeschooled or what was going on, but you literally took this girl away from her entire family because of your damn feelings and your emotions. This is a dangerous lady. You know, people like her will probably hurt their own kids when, you know, she mad at the daddies. This woman is crazy. This is a crazy, delusional lady. I couldn't imagine. So just think about it. She has a whole nother life. Where's her child at? Somewhere stuffed in another state. I'm gonna let y'all hear this, and I'm not gonna interrupt it because I want you guys to hear it. So the father ended up hiring a private investigator, and the private investigator followed this lady for a long time. She had moved from state to state. She was in, I think it was North, South Carolina. So she moves to different places, okay? But he is going to say that now he feel like that they are closer to finding Aaliyah. So that's why now that she's arrested, the first thing came to my mind, I said, did they actually find Aaliyah? Because what he's saying, he doesn't really give much information, because he says that, you know, he feel like they're getting closer to finding his daughter. He also said this is the most, he's had the most conversation recently from the police than he has ever had. So that's why when I saw her got arrested, I said, I wonder did they find Aaliyah? But I'm just gonna let it play out, y'all, so y'all can hear it.
When that was concluding, she was to leave. She was in foster care for maybe 3 to 4 days, and she was scheduled to leave and move out and, you know, return back to her parent, which was me.
So she was only in foster care for 3 days. Before that, she was still with Alicia, or was she with Alicia's mother?
She might have been in foster care a little longer than that. At one point during the custody case, it gotten so bad that they restricted access from her mom completely. No more contact. You cannot visit for the time being. And so she wasn't even supposed to have contact or be around her at all. And when it was bedtime at the house, that's when, you know, the things transpired, and a white SUV was seen standing idle in the neighborhood, a neighborhood that are single family homes. So you would know if this person doesn't belong here.
What do you know about the foster home or the foster family?
I know mom lived 5 minutes away.
Okay, another thing I learned, y'all. Let me tell y'all how this woman is crazy. She alleged that the father had been doing that to the daughter. She made it up, obviously, because they granted him custody, and he doesn't really say exactly what it is, but you can kind of hear from what he's saying. She went as, this lady is crazy, y'all. So it's best that Big Tigger get this hoe in jail and get custody of his child, because she gonna do the same thing to him if given the chance. This is a filthy, dirty, low down. This lady needs to be in jail or a mental hospital. Who would say that the father touched their own child because you mad at him? Girl, you are ruining she's ruining her damn daughter. Wherever she is, probably gonna have to get some help as well. Who would say the father touched the child because you're trying to get back at him or you want to win custody? That's some low down dirty stuff right there.
Away from the actual foster house. What I know about the family, they were, it's not much of a family, it was a foster mom. And she was very friendly. I spoke to her often because I would check in on my daughter to make sure she's okay. And I never had no issues out of it. I will say that she did call me once to complain about her mother. Like, she's calling so much, she keeps coming by the house. Is there something you can do about that? And I'm like, I don't have anything to do with that. And, you might want to tell the caseworker what's going on.
So she disappeared from the foster home, correct? After the verdict that Aaliyah was to go back into your custody full time.
Yeah. So I was awarded custody first, and then the allegation came out. So then they took her back out of my home and then did the investigation. Once that was over, because I already had a custody.
Y'all hear the allegation. So he's not coming out and saying it, but the lady will do anything. She's gonna do anything, y'all. This is a dangerous person. Like, imagine coercing your child to say that their father did something to them that never happened. You are coercing a kid to make them believe that some things took place that didn't even happen. You're a sick individual. This lady is sick.
Custody established, she was supposed to be returned back to the custodial parent's home, which was me.
Thank you for clarifying that. So let's talk about the days leading up. Like, how was she behaving? Because it seemed like a lot was going on. What seemed unusual with Aaliyah?
So during that 3-year span, they did what's called a custody evaluation. There's a court-appointed social worker that pretty much gets all the information from both parents, and they interview Aaliyah, and then they analyze the evidence to either support, refute, or provide background to whatever your claims are. So what I told the social worker was that same thing I've been saying. I don't have regular access. It's usually hit or miss, and I'm having a hard time trying to form a bond because her mom keeps trying to destroy it no matter what I try to do, or I don't get consistent time. So when she goes back home, she goes right back to being deprogrammed or whatever the word. And then the next time I see my child, I start it over again. And usually it doesn't take long to get her out of that phase, but it always happens every time it's time to go back home. And how was she behaving? Honestly, when I would go to these visitation centers, when I would go to see her, we would talk just fine. Like there would be no issues. And back to the custody evaluation, once the social worker made her suggestion or her, it's not a ruling, but a recommendation. When she made her recommendation, she said that Alicia should not have custody of this child, and she should have visits. She should have supervised visits for the time being to allow this child to have some type of mental health treatment, some counseling, a lot of intensive therapy. And when that ruling or when that recommendation came out, she told Aaliyah. And from that point, when we got back to the visitation center, she just stopped talking to me. Wow. And this is all documented because they have to, jot down the notes. They recognize that this did not happen until this date. And that was the date after the recommendation came out.
How far along was that before she went missing?
That was at least, I'm going to say, 1.5 years, 2 years before.
When was the last conversation you had with her?
2019 is the last time I saw my daughter. Last time I gave my daughter a hug was March 27, 2019. Her birthday is April 3rd. So I had a party set up for her. I was trying to do stuff, just to try to lighten the load, make things easier. And her birthday was coming up, so I had a party planned for her. This was kind of be the moment where we at least start on a new foot, and she just never made it. She quote unquote vanished.
So when you got that phone call that your daughter was missing, who called you?
No one called me. My mother came to my house and told me. No one called me on the phone. No one from their family wanted to tell me because they knew I would have a reaction to it. So when I got over to their house, they were so friendly and trying to make it seem like, oh, this is just a small incident, small accident. Like this was just supposed to be blown over and, things happen. But her family never told me, not one.
And the white car, Alicia had 2 white cars at that time, didn't she?
Yeah, she had 2 white SUVs.
And the authorities didn't think anything into searching the vehicles or?
They said that because they cannot ID the tag, or no one can ID that mom was in the car, or they saw actually Aaliyah get in the car. They said we cannot list her as a suspect, or we don't have enough probable cause. The white SUV is not enough itself to be probable cause. Is their explanation to me.
Because I did read in the documents that the judge said that Aaliyah had this deep bond with her mom. Do you believe that she just had a feeling like I can't leave my mom or my mom would be upset?
She definitely had the feeling of if I show I love my dad, my mom's going to be pissed. I don't want my mom mad at me. And anything that kind of went to referring to dad was like a punishment. So it's like, you better stop doing this, or I'm going to send you to your father's house. Like that's a bad thing or something. And what she doesn't know is that's what I've been waiting for her to say for all day. Please bring me my daughter. I would love to. But, it never gets communicated that way. It's always in a negative light. I'm always painted like I'm some type of super villain or predator.
Do you think she left her with someone from her past? Army, Russia, anywhere? Her background is so intense.
I mean, I'm glad that that part came out about her background in the sense of now maybe the world can see that just how resourceful she can be. I'm not diverting all eyes onto her, but please now know that based on what you know about her, she is very resourceful, and I don't believe she left her with anyone. And wherever she is, definitely knows her or is in relation to her.
How difficult was it to watch Alicia just continue building her life while Aaliyah was missing? Did she ever help with searching?
She has never to this day spoken publicly about this child being missing. That's one. And how did it feel? I, on the other hand, lost everything. From going to jail several different thousand times and, losing my job, losing my car, my house because I got fired from my job.
Don't that sound familiar? He said he lost everything. He got fired from his job. If they don't lock this hoe up in the psych ward and pastor this whole name everywhere, I don't want to hear about nobody else coming into contact with this terrorist. This bitch is a terrorist. Like, it don't get no worse than this. She'll probably unalive somebody too. Like, she is clear. Somebody put in the chat that she got some man in jail for 20 years. Are you kidding me? Whoever got the information on whoever this hooker done put in jail for 20 years, please send me that information because I need to write him to find out what is he in there for. Maybe he can get out. She needs to take his place.
To watch and not have my child with me, to watch somebody keep flourishing through their career. I mean, it was tough to watch, but at the same time, I was so focused on trying to rebuild and get some type of foundation on my own that I really didn't have time to sulk in my own depression. I had to life kept going. So I had to get another job. I had to find somewhere to live and things. And I just had to keep rebuilding more than I had to focus on whatever she was on.
And I saw you reached out to the FBI. You had 2 private detectives. What did they find?
My PIs were following her for a period of time, and they followed her all the way to North Carolina. This is how I learned about the other guy involved in his child. Mm-hmm. And from Maryland to North Carolina, I'm pretty sure you can imagine that bill, the travel, the hours put in, and every day. Like, this wasn't something from just one day. She was tailing her from Sunday to Sunday. It became too expensive, and I couldn't pay for it anymore. I couldn't afford it. What they're saying and what they know is that, this is where these children are going to school. This is where she's housed. And I was just pretty much, okay, I have a location for her. Now, keep building on my search. But she would just keep moving.
Wait a minute. I know she didn't have another baby daddy put in jail saying that he did something to his kid. Please tell me this ain't the truth. Y'all, we got to find out why is her other baby daddy in jail. Oh my God. I know this hoe ain't sent nobody to jail saying they touched somebody and they really didn't. This lady needs to just stay in prison for the rest of her life. This lady is a terrorist, and nobody should be in contact with this hoe. She's dangerous. She used children against their own father. Somebody said she probably did. Now that you said 20 years, I didn't think about that because in my mind, I was like, what could a person have done for 20 years? But you know what? She probably did put somebody in jail for 20 years and had her child to say, oh my God, this hoe needs to go to jail.
Different states, Utah, California, Canada, now Arkansas, and now Atlanta.
Were you aware about the daughter's name? And is it spelled the same way?
I believe it's spelled the same as well. And you said, how did I find out?
Mm-hmm.
I talked to her father. I think I'm pretty sure he was under the impression the name was but he just referred to her as the baby. So I don't even know if he knew what her name, was actually.
Okay, so what he's getting into right now, y'all, this woman, y'all know Aaliyah, the daughter that's missing, this hooker so somebody says she has 4 kids. I'm including Aaliyah. Yes, because it's Aaliyah. She has another daughter. She has a son, and then she has the baby with Big Tigger. That's 4. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know. So her daughter, the daughter that she had, I think this daughter, I don't know, at what point, but the daughter has the same name as Aaliyah. Why do you think she had another child and gave her the exact name as Aaliyah? How weird is that? I hope Aaliyah is still living, because that seems very weird that she would give another. Why would you name 2 of your kids the same name? Most parents, if you have twins, you don't even name them the same name. The names may be similar, but he's going to go into saying that she named her daughter Aaliyah's name, and he only found out when talking to her father. Y'all know how older people is. They just be talking. So he probably didn't realize, the father probably didn't realize that he was saying something wrong.
You're not, but I spoke to her father.
What do you believe the significance is to name her second daughter with the same name as her first child?
I think the significance of that, it just shows you the extent that a person will go to keep a lie going. You sacrifice one of your unborn children that's defenseless, and named her the same name as my child to cover up whatever you did with my daughter.
And what was the conversation like with her father?
Informative. I'm just gonna be as frank as I can. He was petrified of this woman after.
The other baby father is petrified of this crazy hoe. Y'all be talking about men, and some of these women be, if not the same, but worser. See, sometimes women can be, I said worser. Sometimes women can be worse. It's because a lot of times if you're cute, people will look over everything. Not me. I don't. But a lot of times if you are cute, they will look over. Them the dumbass people, not me. But when you're a woman, you look cute, and people are so stupid and dumb, you can be manipulative, and they'll look over what you've done. And it seems like that's what she's doing. So this other baby daddy was petrified. Imagine a man being petrified of a woman. She got to be a special kind of crazy.
His experience, he had a lot. He was very established in his career, and that came up in jeopardy. She made a claim of, I think, assault or abuse of some sort of claim. And, his job came under scrutiny. I'm not sure if he was terminated or not, but he did not want any involvement because he said, I can't go to jail. I can't lose what I have behind this woman. So he was trying to just stay far, far away from her as possible. I just don't have that story.
Now that brings me on to the third man in this. You did reach out to Tigger, and he also said he didn't want to be involved, but did he?
So she says the third man. So maybe 2 of the kids have the same father. I mean, I guess, because she says the third man. I thought she had 4 baby daddies, but maybe 2 of the kids have the same father.
Ever have any type of conversation with you?
He has never had any conversation with me, no.
But he's full aware of everything that's going on and that she has a missing child.
Well, if he wasn't then, he for sure is now. And I don't know how he wouldn't have been then, but that's, another story for another time. But
so basically what Aaliyah's father is saying about Big Tigger is he's going to go into, he tried to reach out to him. So basically Big Tigger know everything, okay? He knew all of this. So, I mean, listen, guys, when we're in our 20s and 30s, we don't know what we know in our 50s. Big Tigger, you 51 years old. You're 51 years old. Most people, they're not having kids at 51. So the fact that you did, it should have gave you an abundance of knowledge. Why was you messing around with this girl? Like, you knew, the people told you. Everybody could not have been lying. Why did you not take heed to what they were saying? Nobody was making nothing up on this woman, but you did not listen. They tried to tell you. She has, it seems like 3 baby daddies. I thought it was 4, 3 different men. And they put in the chat that a man is in prison for 20 years. 20 years. Why is your baby daddy in jail for 20 years? Because you lied and said that he did something, because we see the pattern. Now you're saying Big Tigger jumped on you, and we see you snatching his phone. Aaliyah's baby father said you did the same thing to him. He was in and out of jail and he lost everything. Y'all, Big Tigger didn't listen. They tried to tell him. They definitely tried to tell him.
He absolutely should know now.
What do you honestly feel like happened that day that your daughter went missing?
I feel like what was reported was exactly that happened. It's not the first time like my daughter ran away or got out of the house and, like without permission. So she knew how to leave a house. I just feel like she wouldn't have left if she didn't have somewhere to go or somebody to pick her up. That's just not my daughter. And
so when she did run away, she was running to someone that she knew.
I'll tell you a story about the first runaway. This was when I was when we were going through the custody trial and everything. When I was granted some access to her while the trial was still going on. One of the first nights that I had her at my house, overnight, I was supposed to take her to school the next morning. Her mom sent her with an Apple Watch and like 3 phones. And when it was time to go to bed, I had no way to protect myself in the sense of mom keeps saying I do stuff. I don't know. I'm in here by myself with my daughter, and I don't have nothing to say or to, like safeguard me from anything that might be said. So I bought a camera system and I put it in her room to turn it on when she went to sleep. So when she went to sleep, she got a call on her Apple Watch, and then she got a call on the phone. I gave her the phone just to, make her feel comfortable when she went to bed. Somebody called on the phone, and then at that point, they was giving her instructions because she started putting on clothes. She started going through my closets to find like socks and stuff. And then someone was at the window, all on record. Somebody was at my window, and they helped her out the window. Turns out,
imagine a father needing to record his daughter sleeping because the crazy wacko ass mammy is saying that he's doing stuff to his own daughter. This lady is a sick bitch. Like, come on now, girl. You don't gotta like them, but you are literally a nutcase. So he has to have cameras in her room because he's afraid, because the mother has accused him of doing stuff to his own daughter. Like, this just sick.
it was her mom because she ordered an Uber from my house to her grandmother's house under her account. This is why I say it was staged. This is why I say, yes, she left my window, but she did not just run away. She was called and basically instructed out of my window.
So she was just really heavily under her mother's influence.
She, at that time, would do anything her mother told her, even if it was to my own detriment. I just think she don't want to let her, in her mind, I just don't think she want to let her mom down. And, showing affection for someone that mom doesn't like was just off the table in their household, at least in her mind. So if mom don't like you or mom don't like dad, you don't like dad.
What has Alicia's mother said? Because she is someone that, she's a home that Aaliyah would go to a lot. Was she helpful in her disappearance?
I'll put it this way. Alicia's mother has never said anything either. I'm going to try to watch my words. But her, along with Alicia, made this entire process, the trial and everything, so much harder than it actually needed to be. They caused so many problems. And she lied and said that I hit her with a shovel and tried to have me arrested.
This is what would crawl out of you if you drank 2.
All right, y'all. Let me fast forward it because it's a commercial. Just give me a second.
Does Alicia have any siblings? Like, does Aaliyah have an auntie, uncle, anybody else she can go to?
She had an uncle, Alicia's younger brother, but he passed away recently. I don't know about any other family that might still be in contact. My guess is that they don't have any contact with their actual maternal side of the family. because no one's saying anything. If I were lying, then why isn't the family coming out and saying something?
So what did the authorities tell you about the investigation? What did they find out?
I can't share everything that I know, but there, especially in the last 7 days, there is a massive amount of information that I've learned. And what they do know is that she is not with a stranger. And they don't believe that she was just abducted or randomly picked up by somebody on the side of the road. I know I'm being a bit vague there, but it's because I don't want to jeopardize their investigation. But I assure you that there's been some shocking developments in the last 7 days that I've learned.
What can we do? How can we help you?
I'm gathering.
So I don't know if y'all heard that. Hopefully you did. So he said that there's been a lot of shocking information that has come out most recently. So again, when I first saw that she was arrested, the first thing came to my mind, maybe they found Aaliyah, or they know where Aaliyah is and they want to take her ass into custody first, because I don't know if y'all recall, but I don't know if it was her publicist. And why do this chick need a publicist? I mean, if it wasn't for Big Tigger, I would never know who she is. But somebody that is supposed to be a publicist for her says her and Big Tigger told each other everything. Now, when her publicist said that, the first thing that came to my mind, I was like, I wonder, do Big Tigger know where this child is? And maybe he thought that, whatever she told him, he believed it. And now that he's seeing who this lady is, maybe he dropped the dime on her ass, because, some people were putting in the chat, if you are a victim of domestic abuse, that you can get a new Social Security number and a new name, which would ring true, guys, because they're saying this lady had a warrant from 2019. Here's my deal. How could she have a warrant for 2019 when she just had contact with the police, right? Because she called them on Big Tigger, right? I mean, why wouldn't they know about it? So what I'm thinking is Big Tigger knows about her, and this is alleged. I don't know if he knows this, but I'm thinking, if it is true that because she's claiming to be a domestic abuse victim, and when I say that, from her other baby daddies, okay, they said that she did the same thing to them. I feel like if she alleged that she was abused then, and some people saying one of her baby daddies is in prison for 20 years. So what did she say that he did? I'm thinking maybe she could have said that he touched one of his kids, because this is what she did to Aaliyah's father. So if that is true, then she would have had a new name and a new Social Security number. And that is why she was able to move about Georgia freely without getting that warrant, people not finding out about that warrant. So I don't know what y'all think about that, but that is what they've been, kind of saying in the chat. I didn't even know anything about, domestic abuse, and that if you are a victim of domestic abuse, that you can get a new name. But it would make sense, because, girl, 2019 and you've been moving about here and you ain't never been arrested.
A lot of facts, and I know I'm not going to say I feel like I'm close or I feel like I'm breaking ground, but the only thing that you would do is the same thing that you've been doing, as far as telling them who to call, because the tips is what I'm gathering most of this information from, but they're just not identifying themselves. He's anonymous, but a lot of the information that they're sharing is confirmed and true.
Oh, wow.
And it's coming from Atlanta.
And I was just about to.
So listen, y'all, did y'all hear? He said all of the tips that he has are people who want to remain anonymous, but they all coming from Atlanta. Okay, that's what he said.
To ask you, do you think Aaliyah is here?
I don't want to say that out loud where I think she is, but I think she is on the East Coast for sure. And I feel like this is all really ultimately unnecessary, and this is why I just don't understand a lot about it. Like there was nothing I would have stopped my daughter from doing. Like I would have, if she wanted to go around the world, I would let her. Like you didn't have to take my child, whoever, air quote.
If you could say something to Aaliyah right now, what would you say?
I would tell her, Aaliyah, I just want to be your dad again. I want to get to know who you are, the young woman you become. I've missed 7 years, and those 7 years is how you developed into the person that you are. And I wish I could have been there to every step of the way. I would have been there if I could. And I just miss you so much. I can't say how much I love you. There's not enough words, or I don't have enough time to express how I have been without you. But just know that I miss you so much, and I just want to see my daughter again.
And as far as the authorities, they're doing their thing now.
They kind of on it now that it's getting, so much attention. So they're more contacting me than they ever have. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I've gotten more calls from the law enforcement in the last week than I've had in the last 6 years.
Do you think she's in?
Y'all hear what he said? He said, he's been talking to law enforcement more in the last week than he said in the last 7 years. So I feel like, there may be something, and I don't know. I mean, I just felt like when her team or publicists or whoever these people came on and says, her and Big Tigger says, tell each other everything. I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but if they do, maybe he does know where the child is. I mean, who knows?
Danger, being that a lot of eyes are on this.
I think she's okay. I just don't know where she's at.
Right.
I don't think she's in any immediate danger because I don't believe she's with a stranger. She's not with somebody that just, doesn't know her. She's with somebody who is, I believe, related to her. So
please make sure you get that GoFundMe because I don't want anybody to take advantage of you during this time.
Yeah, I'll actually go on the website when we end this interview. I didn't know. I was thinking about it, but, I just didn't want to do stuff too soon before I had enough details and info that I needed. I don't have legal representation. I do want to send a big thank you that I keep forgetting to do. I'm sorry.
So that was pretty much the end of the interview, guys. He pretty much, did this interview and kind of talked about the entire story. But somebody said, she's so dumb. How you on the run and you making all of this confusion? Exactly. She got exactly what she was supposed to get. This lady is smart but dumb. Obviously, they say she speaks all of these languages. She's smart but dumb. I mean, you can't put a man in jail going around. And then here's the deal, y'all. She put this thing out saying, ask my husband what happened to my face, and then came out as if it was a mix-up. But I believe what happened at that time, Big Tig probably was like, listen, this relationship is over. Then she reverted right back to the victim mentality. So you can't put all of this information out, get a man fired from his job, and then think that he ain't finna come for your ass, okay? Everything that he know, he better be singing it and talking about it. Somebody put in the chat, he's trying to save his career. There was nothing wrong with his career before he got with this tramp. What was wrong with this man's career? Now, we're not just going to be making up shit now. This man's career was fine until he got with the 3 times baby mama. So let's just stop lying now. We ain't going to come in here and lie, okay? His career was fine. His career was fine until he got with this tramp. Think about Alicia Brown runs back to state of Maryland, USA. No, Alicia is arrested. So she's not running anywhere but in a jail cell. She is arrested, so she won't be running anywhere anytime soon. A smart person can play a fool, but a fool can never play smart. That's very true, because ain't no way in hell I would have had a warrant for my arrest and gonna call the police on somebody. Absolutely not. And, I believe that, and hopefully Big Tig is telling everything, because this woman is trying to ruin him over him allegedly cheating. Come on now. To ruin somebody's life because they allegedly cheated. Girl, you more pressed about a man than you about your damn daughter. I believe that Tigger told on her and should. That guy said that he had reached out and tried to talk to Tigger. He sure did. When he finally made Tasha K There's no zone. How many interviews he done already? So this one, he did this before Tasha K. This one is about, I don't know, maybe a month old. So I'm glad that that he's talking about it. Like, hey, this is his child. This is wrong. For every year that Aaliyah is gone, she needs to get 2 years. So if Aaliyah is gone for 7 years, she needs to get 14 years. This lady needs to go to prison. Like, come on now. She needs to go to prison. The case with her baby father needs to be reopened. This lady is a terrorist. This is crazy. This is just the worst. Like, girl, a whole crazy person. Now she done got her dumb ass arrested and in somebody's jail cell. I wonder where is the baby? I would imagine they would have to give the baby to him, at least his child, right? What y'all saying in the chat? Because the only reason that, what do y'all do anybody in here know anything about child custody? Oh, somebody says she has state charges. She will be sitting down a long time. Good. Because they said she put that man in jail for 20 years. Good for her. Give her a little bit of medication. Hopefully she'll get better.
Artemis right there. Stop. Both of you.
She doesn't care. I don't care. She can just give me my phone.
So look, I think this was recorded by somebody's cell phone.
She could just.
She's literally fucking fly. I don't want to fucking hear.
She could just give me my phone.
Okay, but stop right now because she's.
My phone.
Please get off.
Registered in my name.
Please get off.
Give me my phone.
You're sticking my earring in my ear.
Sorry.
Get off of me.
Give me my phone.
Please get off of me.
You can stay right on the floor.
You're a fucking man.
I'm not manhandling.
Did it stop?
She could just.
She's Artemis right there. Stop. Both of you.
She doesn't care. I don't care. She could just give me my phone. She could just.
She's literally fucking fly. I don't want to fucking hear.
She could just give me my phone.
Okay, but stop right now because she's.
My phone.
Please get off.
Registered in my name.
Please get off.
Give me my phone.
You're sticking my earring in my ear.
Sorry.
Get off of me.
Give me my phone.
Please get off.
You can stay right on the floor.
You're a fucking man.
I'm not manhandling.
I just don't know what type of parent would act like this in front of their child. Like, what is this? Like, this is absolutely, this is crazy. This is because you want to see his phone?
Give me back my phone.
Get off of me.
Give me back my phone.
Get off of me.
Give me back my phone. You don't need it. What do you need it for?
Yeah.
And y'all know what's so crazy? Some of these women is in the chat, not my chat, but in the chat of this video saying, oh yeah, he's cheating. Who gives a damn if he's cheating? Leave. I'm not gonna be snatching your phone, rolling all on the damn floor with you. If you cheating and I think you cheating, either I'ma leave, you gonna leave, whatever we gonna do. This is childish. This is absolutely childish. But some of the women, not in my chat, but in the chat of this video, they say, oh yeah, he cheating. Girl, move on then.
What do you need it for?
Get off me. Please get off me.
As soon as you give me my phone.
Please get off
It's
me.
my phone.
Please get off me.
Registered in my name.
Please get off me.
Give me my phone.
You're sticking my earring in my ear.
Sorry.
Get off of me.
Give me my phone.
Please get off of
You
me.
can stay right on the floor.
You're a fucking man.
I'm not manhandling. Give me back my phone.
Get off of
Give
me.
me back my phone.
Get off of
Give
me.
me back my phone. You don't need it. What do you need it for?
Get off.
What do you need it for?
Get off me. Please get off
As
me.
soon as you give me my phone.
Please get off
It's
me.
my phone.
Please get off me.
Registered in my name.
Please get off me.
Give me my phone.
You're sticking my earring in my ear.
Sorry.
Get off of me.
Give me my phone.
Please get off
You
me.
can stay right on the floor.
You're a fucking man.
I'm not manhandling. Give me back my phone.
Get off of
Give
me.
me back my phone.
Get off of me.
I want to read this one in the chat. You said, Keisha, you got to look at it. She called the police on him and got away with it. They caught her somewhere else for a completely different reason. She knows how to work the system, target our men. So this is what I learned, okay? So apparently when you claim to be a victim of abuse, and I think, I'm not saying a victim of abuse in this case, because obviously it hasn't been proven, but she has allegedly said she was a victim of domestic abuse before. So I believe she was able to get away because she has a different social security number and a different name. I guess this is what they're telling me, is once is proven, or with one of her baby fathers being in jail for 20 years, I guess they gave her a new name and a new social security number. I don't know. I guess that's how it works. So I don't think that she was able to get away, but I think now, Big Tig know what time it is, and he probably dropping a dime on this hoe. Like, listen, this is that other name that she be using, and she got a warrant in Maryland. I would have been did this the first day. The first day you lied on me and told me that, and told them folks that I abused you, they would have knew that day. They'd have picked you up that day. So I don't know why he waited this long, because I would have told that day she would have went to jail that day. So I don't know, but what are y'all saying in the chat? But that's what they're saying. She wanted his phone to set up a payday to try to take him for everything he has if she can find something related to cheating in his phone. This woman is violating his privacy. And you know what I hope? I hope whatever that's in his phone that they can't use. Because, girl, you don't get to snatch somebody's phone, because then give them your phone. This is so stupid. This is dumb. I mean, listen, folks cheat all the time. People's hearts are broken. But why do you want to ruin somebody's life because they cheated on you? Like, girl, are you okay, bitch? Did you take your medication or something? Like, this is crazy. Like, you literally are hoping to hurt him because you feel like he cheated. I don't know if he cheated or not, but I mean, I wouldn't be trying to take nobody down because they cheated. The worst I'm gonna do is just leave you alone. That's all I'm gonna do. I don't got time for this. What's somebody said, I'm sorry, this is no, it ain't domestic violence. This is Karen behavior. This ain't domestic violence, because if it is, so if this is domestic violence, she's the person that started it. So if you consider this domestic violence, she is the aggressor. You ain't finna come in here talking about this domestic violence. If it is, it's caused by what she did. Okay? We ain't finna be lying on folks. We're not finna play the game because, oh, she's a woman. If she's a woman, she should probably act like one. She should probably act like one. So if this is considered domestic violence, she's the aggressor. All her children's fathers were accused, one from Maryland, North Carolina, Delaware, now Big Tigger in Atlanta. Damn. Yeah, those are all the places that they said she was at too. Ain't that some mess? Now, I would imagine the one in Delaware, is that the one that's in prison for 20 years? This don't make no sense. This don't make no sense. This is so bad. She got a man in jail for 20 years. Girl, this is so bad. I wish prison for her future. Spiteful, controlling women are a big no for me. Exactly. Like, she want to take this man all the way down because she claimed he was cheating and he had flirty texts. Girl, stop. Why do you want to micromanage a grown-ass person? I don't want to see your phone. I don't want to see your messages. Why? I don't want to see that. That's your shit. There's nothing that I need to be looking at. I'm not cheating and I'm not giving you my phone. We grown around here, right? I don't, exactly. And if you want to see my phone, let's just break up. How about that? Let's just not be together. I don't have time. That's childish. And then you literally this girl rolling on the floor for another man's phone. She didn't do all of this for her missing daughter, did she?
Give me back my phone. You don't need it. What do you need it for?
Get off.
What do you need it for?
Get off me. Please get off me.
As soon as you give me my phone.
Please get off
It's
me.
my phone.
Please get off me.
Registered in my name.
Please get off me.
Give me my phone.
You're sticking my ear in my ear.
Sorry.
Get off me.
Give me my phone.
Please get off me.
You can stay right on the floor.
Girl.
Some people are in the chat saying that they feel like she set him up. I do too. I think she told her son to film this. That's what I feel like. Because, I mean, you snatch somebody's phone, they're going to tackle you. I'm surprised he ain't literally laying on top of her, but he ain't. He's just trying to get his phone in the most loving way I've ever saw. But the fact of it is, I think she probably told her son to film this. That's what I feel. You said, well, somebody said he should have asked. I don't know how he was going to ask the neighbor, because if he would have let her go, I'm sure she would have ran somewhere and locked herself in a room. And you know, with the cell phones, you can't, nobody else can call and get your phone turned off. It would literally have to be you. So that was not going to work. Apparently, she got arrested on a kidnapping warrant that happened in 2019. Don't know if it's true or not, but they say that, yeah, that's what this video is about. Yeah, she got arrested for Aaliyah, the child that has been missing since 2019. Yeah, she's definitely in jail.
I'm not mad at him. Give me back my phone. Get off of me! Give me back my phone. Get off.
Woo, y'all, this is a mess. What are y'all saying in the chat? Somebody said they're really both at fault. No, they're really not both at fault. I don't know if you've been hurt by a man or you got some kind of issues, but how is he at fault for somebody snatching his phone? I don't agree with that. He's not at fault. Let somebody snatch your shit. How about that? And tell me what you think. So somebody gonna snatch your shit and you gonna be at fault when you try to get it back. He ain't at fault. Some women just hate men. You know, let's just call it what it is. We got some men hate women, and we got some women that hate men. Nothing about this interaction is this man's fault. Nothing. So miss me with them lies, okay? Yes, clearly you can tell it was staged. He yelling like he yelling like saucy. It's wrong to you, right? It's wrong to use the kids in this way. Yeah. Yes. Somebody said a mofo gonna be mad as F going through my phone. I mean, that's somebody's personal property. Like, come on now. Like, it's too much. I keep reiterating, all men who pick these type of who hold responsibility for the choices they made. In 7 years, no access to your daughter, no Tigger will never get a pass. Well, here's the deal though. I don't feel like he get a pass. And let me just tell you why. We have all been in relationships of some that just didn't work out. Now, for me, I said, damn, if somebody would have told me about a person, at least I would have been watching out for those sorts of things. But in her case, you got 3 separate incidents of the same thing. I'd have been gone up out of there, especially, you know, with him trying to have a child by this lady and knowing that she's already crazy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for him at all. But the fact of the matter is, you know, this lady is, you know, she's in jail because she's a fraud and she's a liar. She may be in jail and GA for 30 days. They usually don't come and get a fugitive right away. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Let that hoe stay in jail. I mean, she's dirty and she's low down, and she needs to be taught a lesson. Why do you keep on pushing these kids out, trying to lock the fathers up? What kind of weirdo hoe are you? I can't listen. I need support for kids. Why do you want to lock the fathers in jail, have them lose their jobs? What kind of weirdo are you? That's crazy. The one thing I do need you to have is a job and money, because you got a child to take care of. Tigger ignored the other guys trying to warn him. Yeah, he did that. He definitely did. She wanted to play police games. Now she has police problems. Exactly. Yeah. And it's going to be a long time. You're going to be sitting your little crazy ass in jail. Now, where y'all think them kids is going? I would imagine that, you know, he would have his son, which is good. But then she has 2 other kids. Where they going? Yeah, you're right. He definitely was warned. Tigger got a heart.
You guys, it's late. Been up thugging for like probably 3 hours at this point. With you guys binge watching, trying to catch up on the Karmelo Anthony situation, binge watching. You guys please subscribe to my X, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on all platforms, Twitch, Kick, etc. I'm finna go on ahead and sign out. Thank you guys for watching. It's been real. Next time y'all look, say, hey, how you doing or something, you know. And also, I'll be back on. I come on every Tuesday, late at 4 in the morning, trying to catch up on a lot of things. They had a lot of stuff going on, guys. So, yeah, we had I mean, for its financial wise, it's good, but we just had a weird time that we all had to like find somewhere in our heart that we can figure this out all together. Y'all have a great day. Free Carmelo Anthony, RIP to all the young men that have got unalive. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on with all these girls and boys getting found hung up in a tree. Nobody's talking about it. We got to talk about this stuff. They're going to be my next agenda, talking about people that's getting hanged and they trying to act like these people commit suicide. Like, you know, just get straight, guys. Y'all have a good day. They're trying to get Black America to beep out, crash out, and, you know, to keep confusion going. Ancestors would want that. So y'all just pray, okay? Have a great day. Peace.